Action.
That was about right, Jin. It came on action when the bar came on. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Today is Thursday, the 20th of December, 2018. We are waiting for Roxanne to join us. She is out somewhere at the moment, but she will be joining us. On the panel, we have, of course, our Patricia, Flat Earth Dude. We have Nicolas,
hey,
and we have Jin.
Jin. Hey, Karen.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Patricia.
Hey.
Evening, folks.
Hi, Patricia.
Nicolas.
Hi, Jen.
Hi there, Flat Earth.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And everybody in the chat room. Jincbr1 here. Nice to see you all. The ordinary man on the screen.
Just an ordinary flat earth dude.
Flat Earth dude off the street there, man.
Never ordinary.
Oh, thanks. No, absolutely right. Never ordinary.
Yeah, anything but ordinary, man.
Anything but ordinary.
Please.
Yes. We are the special ones. We know the truth. We know what's going on out there.
Yeah, I had that theory that...
Hey, Robin.
Robin?
Yeah, hello, Robin.
I just see him in chat.
Hi, Robin.
Chat.
Hi, Robin.
Robin.
You've got Michael. There's Michael, Theodity, Mark,
It's just quicker than typing.
Walter. Hi, Walter.
Walter
Hi,
Williams.
everybody.
Yeah, very quick. Jin's got a lot to say, but Nicolas, how are you then? We haven't seen you for a little while. You worked very well yesterday.
Yeah, I've been all right. Yeah, the reason I wasn't here yesterday is because the diazepam and painkillers I was on meant that I couldn't actually speak.
Oh, shit.
I was kind of like, no. I was all over the place. So, no, it's probably a good idea that I wasn't, you know. I'm all right.
This is a bad idea.
Can I ask a question, Nicolas?
Yes.
The medication you were on, was it definitely 100% necessary? Could you not find a homeopathic or
yeah, no, normally I would, but this was kind of like a hospital situation. So it was just to get me through the initial, I need to move my body. Otherwise, I wasn't going to travel very far. Other than that, no, I'm not into all of that. Definitely not, you know.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, totally. A lot of people here realise, but my wife, she's a microbiologist, and she knows a lot of things about what's going on. So she's very organic in that sense. So we are really as a family, you know.
Fantastic.
Wow. That's awesome.
I think most flat earthers are like that, I would say.
Well, we're always trying to we're always curious, and we're always trying to find other ways and other means to better ourselves and our lives, and hopefully other people around us, you know, to be honest.
Right.
You know, sharing knowledge, sharing information, you know, as much as we can anyway, you know.
Yeah, that's been my journey as a child, from like elementary school, fascinated about my body, how it was changing, how I was getting stronger. I was always fascinated. My dad used to say, "You're looking at yourself too much." My dad used to say that. But that's the first kind of realization that you're changing. You know, you do PE, you eat your food, and it does have an effect, a physical effect on you. So that was my first real contact with change. Magic.
Sure.
I just said it was magic. That's all I put it down to. Real magic. What was happening to me.
So, I forgot. Can I just say that, just so that everybody knows, that Jin is from our chat room, and this is his first hangout live, but we've spoken to him privately. But
yeah, Jin, man. Cool.
Jin is in Japan, outside of Tokyo.
Yeah, he's in Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been here for 19 years here in Japan.
Oh, wow.
I came here in 1999.
Can you speak a little in Japanese for us?
Yeah, okay. I'll greet you in the morning first. I'll say good morning to you, and how is everyone, okay? Ohayou gozaimasu, minasan. Mina, genki desu ka?
Wow.
Okay, so I just said to you, good morning, everyone. How are you? Are you all well, basically?
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll say something else if you like. I'll say something else. あなたたちに会うのはとても素晴らしいです。みんなは伝統節なの人たちだから素晴らしいですよ。Now, what I just said there was, it's a pleasure to be talking to like-minded people, flat earthers, and it's wonderful. That's what I
Much respect to you, man.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Nice.
I got to put that on my. I'm gonna make a ringtone out of that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flat Earth, he's a nutter, man.
Anyway, thanks for that, Jin.
Hey,
You
I'm
sounded
going
very
But like I said, Aaron, thanks for letting me on your show. I appreciate that 100%. You know, thanks. And it's nice to be in with other flat earthers, you know, like-minded people. You know, we've all had our journeys, and we've come to the realization that the earth is indeed flat. And when I discovered that, for me, it was a beautiful realization. I was so yes, this is correct. You know, it's beautiful, the earth. It just made sense, you know?
Oh, it makes sense.
It wasn't either, Jin. You've been a flat earther really most of your life, haven't you? Really?
That's correct. Yeah, because I'll tell you a short story. Basically, my first contact with the flat earth, born in London, 1961, living in the Isle of Dogs, which is in a place called Popular House, Popular. There, up until 1965, moved to Camden Town. 1966, my youngest brother was born. So there's 3 kids, 2 siblings, 3 of us. But there's 4 others in Nigeria. My sister is in Nigeria as well. So she's not in London at this time. So I was born with 2 other brothers in London. Come 1966, youngest brother's born. 1970s, we're on our way to Nigeria. My dad's got a Volkswagen. He's a dealer in Nigeria. That was his business. So he was always toing and froing London to Nigeria on a regular basis. Whole family moves to Nigeria, going to Nigerian school, textbooks. We've got Copernicus, Galileo, who's the other one? Copernicus,
Christopher
Galileo, Christopher Columbus. Thank you very much, Karen. Yeah. And they're debating, in the textbooks, they're debating whether the earth is flat or not. And then there's an image, a black and white image of a ship going over the edge. This is 1970. Ship going over the edge, the earth is not flat. And I said to myself, yeah, how stupid that is. Who thought the earth was flat? So there, it's fixed in my brain, right? That, you know, the earth is not flat. But that was my first contact, okay? So all through my life, the earth is a ball, okay? No doubt about it. 1990s, a friend of mine comes up to me, a friend of a friend. I was doing security at the time in a wine bar. And says, Jin, do you believe they went to the moon? And I said, yeah, they went to the moon because I saw it on TV. I mean, I used to run home from school 1969, I'm 8 years old, 1969, St. Mary Magdalene School, 8 years old. I usually would play football with my friends after school, but because of the moon, I used to run home. I wanted to watch the highlights and the live, yeah? So I said, no, I saw it on TV, mate. He goes, no, they never went. This is 1997. I'm saying to him, no, they went, man. How do you know they never went? Because I saw it on TV. He said, his mother knows. I said, well, what does your mother know? And he didn't tell me. He just said his mother knew. So I said, in non so many words, F off, you're off your head, go away, you're mad. Do you know what I mean? You know, they went up there. Okay? So that was the end of that. 2001, 1999, I moved to Japan, married my wife. 2000, we have a child. First son is born. 2001, I'm on the computer doing the moon research. Lo and behold, they didn't go. The first thing I did was phone that geezer up, my friend, yeah, and apologise to him. That sorry about that. You're absolutely right. The only thing was you didn't give me any information. That's why I didn't really believe you. But thanks for trying to tell me they didn't go. Thank you very much, and I apologise to him for my bad language. I can't let him off. Actually, excuse my friends.
I can't wait. I can't wait for my friends to start calling me up and going, "Yeah, sorry, man, you were right."
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I had to call him back because I felt really bad. I swore at him. I said, you and your mother's a nutters. I really went into him, you know. I said, leave me alone. I'm trying to do my job here. Go away. You're doing me head in. Do you know what I mean? You know. But I had to apologise. I felt really bad. I never forgot that. So then 9/11 happens. So I'm doing a loose change. You know, the loose change. What else did I do there? Yeah, fluoride deception, 30-minute video, learning that the atom bomb was really known as a fluoride bomb. That's what it was. The atom bomb was a fluoride bomb. The main ingredient that gives that bomb its big bang is the fluoride. Okay, that was the main ingredient of great concern in the Manhattan Project. This is what I discovered. The documentary is called The Fluoride Deception. It's 30 minutes. And I think the guy's name is Richard Brayson, a reporter for the BBC, who was working in the Rockefeller Center at the time. He was only looking into the fluoride because in Leeds, they were going to fluoride the water in Leeds. And one of the guys in Leeds, who was in the local government, contacted Richard Bryson in New York, the Rockefeller Center, and asked him, "What do you know about fluoride? Is it a good thing?" When he did the research, he discovers that it's a dangerous chemical. It's the #1 ingredient in an atom bomb. It's no good. It's all toxic. Don't do it. Basically, he replied back to the guys in Leeds. So that was 30 minutes. I was shocked because me, at the age of 19, I stopped using toothpaste. Lucky for me, but I used mouthwash. I was using mouthwash only, Listerine mouthwash. I couldn't afford to buy both.
No, you don't want Listerine.
So I had to do one or the other. So I was using Listerine mouthwash, right? But I was always worried about the fluoride not having enough on my teeth. So when this fluoride documentary popped up whilst I was doing the researching 9/11, I thought, what's fluoride? Let me check it. And I was surprised. I was glad I didn't have fluoride in my system because it's in your system forever. Once it's in there, it doesn't come out apparently. And it rots your bones. It gives you bone cancer. So if you're using toothpaste with
makes
fluoride,
your bones brittle.
Right.
If you're all using toothpaste with fluoride, you need to stop immediately and get it off your menu.
Well,
right? That's the end of that one. Toothpaste, no good.
Can I interject there a minute?
Please do.
I got an interesting thing here, which is kind of a little experiment myself and my wife did, because we know all about the fluoride scam, right? Basically, my daughter, who's 6, she's never had fluoride toothpaste ever. And every time we go to the dentist, they say, "Oh, have you thought about, giving her the fluoride toothpaste and all of this?" And we say, "Well, you know what? She is living proof that it's an absolute scam because she's never ever had fluoride toothpaste. We always get this fluoride-free toothpaste. Ever since she was a baby, she's never had it, never ever had it, and her teeth are perfect. I mean, she's got to lose some of her teeth, obviously, because they're her first teeth. She's only 6, but there's looking at some of the children with their teeth at her age, they're in terrible state already, and they've been having fluoride toothpaste, and she's never had it ever. And it's amazing. The dentist actually looks quite shocked every time you say it. They kind of look at you like, they kind of glitch out.
Yeah. My dentist here in Japan said the same thing. Why are your teeth so white? Okay. Yeah. And I said, I just use Listerine mouthwash. I deliberately said to him, I don't use toothpaste.
Yeah.
Right. And I introduced him to the fluoride deception and saying that it says here, and it's in Japanese, so he couldn't avoid the information. I researched. I said, look, it says here, stop fluoride in red.
I've only ever met one dentist that has said, between me and you, I know what you're talking about. I know what's going on. And that's only one dentist.
Oh, there you go. You see? So, end of the fluoride story. I went on to learn about the Iraq War, Gulf War syndrome, where the military soldiers are going back. They've been poisoned with depleted uranium in their system. So they're having children with, mega deformities. Okay, deformed kids are being born. And that was a shock as well, to find out that the American government wasn't going to compensate those soldiers, And then a very famous documentary, Gary Knoll. Anybody know Gary Knoll?
No.
Fantastic. A great human being. He fought on behalf of the military to try and get the government to listen to the illnesses that these guys were suffering from. Because the government was saying it was all a hoax. They were in denial, basically. And Gary, I'm going to put it in the link. I'll have to put it in the link later on. It's an interesting watch, to learn how the military soldiers are coming back with illnesses and, can't see straight and,
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, it's a testing ground, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a testing
yeah.
ground. I think it really is a testing ground for very, very rich people to see what happens.
Yeah. So in the end, Gary Noel took on the case and went to court, and he also fought against vaccinating the kids as well. So Gary Noel, he is a naturalist. He's a vegan. So look at him. Look him up. Fantastic man, okay?
Well,
So anyway, going through that, let's fast forward to December 2015. I've come to the end of all the moon landing research and that, you know, but during 2015, there was these pop-up suggestions in your recommended bar, suggestion bar, flat earth, flat earth, flat earth, just kept popping up. And I kept saying, don't be silly, what flat earth? The earth is a sphere. Come on, man, stop that. I didn't click on it. But at the end of my research on the moon landings, December, quiet afternoon, I thought, okay, I'll click on it for a laugh. I'm going to have a laugh here. And I was not laughing. I was not laughing at all. Everything, the first video I watched was ODDs, né? That was the first one. And instantly it made sense. So my emotions were like this. I went,
Jin, but who do you watch a lot now?
Sun and Moon at the moment.
No, carry on, sorry.
There you go, I'm on your channel now, yeah?
Yeah, just a couple of people in the chat room, and realise this. They said, I haven't seen you before. So Jin is from our chat room. He's one of you. But he's now on our panel. Carry on, Jin.
Thanks. Yeah. Basically, I went on an emotional roller coaster ride. In that, I felt I was ripped off. You know what I mean? My first feeling was, yes, of course, it makes sense. This is correct. Then all my childhood memory questions that I asked my teacher, Mrs. Aberhart and Mrs. White and Mrs. Capener, because I asked them, how comes people don't fall off in Australia, I said. And she told me gravity. 1969, this is gravity. What's that? It keeps you down. Now, Jim. And I said, I can't feel it. You know, I'm weaving my arms up and down. I said, I can't feel this. And she said, yeah, but it's keeping you on your... I was like, you believe your teachers. So I went around the classroom asking the kids if they knew what gravity was, and they didn't. So I said, you mug, you don't know anything. You know, taking the piss out of the kids, basically, because they weren't interested. They weren't interested in that kind of thing at that time. They were more into games and that. And I was into the space and all that. So gravity was my first kind of like science word that I learned at school, gravity. That was the one for me, right? So that was my first emotional feeling was, oh, my teachers got it wrong then. Then I thought, my life, all those years, I thought, how stupid I am. Then my last emotional feeling was, I've got to tell everybody. That was my last feeling. I had to tell it, I had to get the message out there. So 2016, my classroom board, I wrote on the board, what is the shape of the earth and how do you know? Right, and I'll tell you, I actually lost some adult students over it because they thought I'd gone mad, you know what I mean? 2016. They thought I'd lost the plot, you know? And I tried to explain to them that the earth is not a sphere, we're living on a flat plane, you know? I said, do you trust the government? I said to them, well, the government's lied, but they said it's difficult to understand. I said, okay, never mind. 2016, I'm invited to teach English at 3 elementary schools in Japan. Okay, that's fantastic, nice. I did a little experiment whereby I got the children to draw the seaside horizon. So you've got your seaside, you've got your beach, seaside, you've got the yachts, you've got the birds flying in the sky, you've got the sun, okay? You know the usual scene at the beach. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got everyone, I've got the kids and the teachers to participate in drawing their pictures. And then on the board, I drew a curved horizon, over-exaggerated curved horizon, and but beach scene, okay? Then I asked the kids, which one is right? That's all I said to the kids and the teachers. And they said I was wrong. You know what I mean? All of them shouting out, I'm wrong, that's not right, that's not right. And I said, but we're living on a round ball, aren't we? You know? And they all said, you know, you could see that they were thinking. And that's how I left it, you know? That's my story of trying to drop, a seed in the classroom. In an elementary school situation. So I did that at every school that I went to. That was my try to drop the seed. And I had a great time with that one. What else can I say about the Flat Earth movement? Really, that's really my story. Really.
I mean, how do they view it in Japan as a whole? Are they more open to it?
Some people who are intelligent and open-minded, yes. 90% are closed-minded. I mean, I had a doctor here, right? And I explained, after 3 months, he joined the Jin's English school. He joined the school. 3 months later, I popped the question. I've been trying to pop it from the beginning, but you can't. So 3 months later, I popped the question, what shape is the Earth? And he says it's round. I said, how do you know? He says, I learned at school, university, television. I said, yeah, good. I said, but it's not. It's actually flat. Okay, because there's no. I said to him, the first thing you have to listen to remember here is there's no pictures of Earth, not one picture of real Earth we have. Oh, but they went to the moon. I said, yeah, they went to the moon, but it's not possible to go to the moon. I said, so you say they went, but they didn't go, and I took impulse and everything else. Okay, a few months later, he said to me he preferred to live in the fantasy. That's what he said. He preferred to live in a fantasy.
Really?
Those were his words. Yes, those were his words.
It's the same.
He prefers fantasy.
So many people answer like that. It's their opt-out, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
What at the end they kind of go, well, what does it really matter, or so on and so forth. And it's a real opt-out,
Yeah, the other opt-out for them very easy. They use this terminology, musakashi, which means it's difficult. It's difficult. And I say to them, it's not difficult.
It's not difficult at all.
It's not difficult at all.
It's lazy minds that make it difficult.
Yeah. I said, it's not difficult, I explained it to them, all the demonstrations. I said to them, do you believe when you went to Australia, the plane was upside down, because you went to Australia, upside down the plane, and I've got my Global Earth, and I've got the toy planes, I've got all the props, showing it to them. I said, this is your plane, ANA, Japanese plane, look at it, look. And it's going, and it went like that. Did it go like that? Like this, round the Earth? Like that, did it? And he said, no. I said, right. So what does that mean then? Because if you're telling me that the Earth is round, but the plane flew straight, that's a violation of nature, isn't it? Because you have to negotiate the Earth. You've got to round that Earth to get to Australia. You have to. You don't need any science here. When you want to go to your job and you have to turn left or turn right, you turn your steering wheel and you turn left. You turn right and you turn left. It's the same applies for the Earth. If you leave Japan and you go to New Zealand or Australia, you've got to circumnavigate that circle. Otherwise, it's a violation of nature's laws. That's what I said to him. And then he says, yes. He started to think then. That's when he started thinking. Because I said, it's impossible for a plane to fly straight on a ball. It doesn't work. How can that happen? How can you fly straight on a sphere? It doesn't happen. That's a violation of nature. Come on. That's silly. The plane wasn't upside down, was it? Exactly. So what does that mean? Simply, the Earth is flat. That's what it means. The Earth is left. That's it. Sherlock Holmes. When you remove the impossible, whatever is left, no matter how improbable it might seem to you, has to be the truth. Come on. Simple. Well, it's a no-brainer. So
it's become overcomplicated so much in people's minds that they've become so overcomplicated that it's the simplest of things, really. It's just Occam's razor. The most logical answer is the most logical answer,
Thank you.
It
Absolutely.
really is. It's like trying to explain to I had a bit of a one with my parents today. It's just, I said to my dad, I said, and he's an intelligent man, he's an academic. And I said to him, look, I said, if you think about it logically, do you really think that there's a ball in space with all this ocean that's moving and bulging? Where would all the swells go? Where would all the water bulge to? How would it move around? How does it define itself between grasshoppers, butterflies and ships? And I said, in this day and age, if there was an ISS, which there isn't, which kind of upset him, I said, I said they'd be taking pictures of the Earth from space, and we'd see planes going upside down.
Yeah.
We would see that with the technology that we've got. And it's like I said to my dad, he said, "Do you really seriously think that's going on?"
Yeah, you've got to laugh, because I've said the same thing. I'm 50. I am 57. And I haven't seen the plane go upside down with all the satellites that are there. I haven't seen that image. How can that be? And I'm 57. And I haven't. Where's that image? Where's that video? Come on.
Where are they?
Where's the images of the planes going upside down?
I want to see those planes. I want to see those satellites going upside down.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Exactly. So when I told them that, satellites don't exist, and then they start going into one, I said, look, helium balloon. My son had a birthday last February. And my wife, went to Toys R Us, and he got presents with helium balloons all attached to it. So I said, could I have one? I took one, and I left it in the classroom, and it was always in the classroom, right on the ceiling. And then we talk about gravity. And I asked them this. I said to them, okay, and gravity in Japanese is jiryoku. Jiryoku. That's
What's
what
that?
It's called in Japanese.
How do you say that? Jiryoku.
Yeah, jiryoku. You got it right. Perfect pronunciation. Jiryoku. That's gravity in Japanese, okay? So I asked them, do you believe in gravity? And they said, yeah. I said, how do you know gravity is here? So instead of dropping their smartphones, they picked up a coin and dropped it on the floor. I said, so that's gravity, is it? Okay. So I said, what would happen if gravity is not here? Okay? If gravity was not in this room, not on Earth, it's not around. He said, they all said you'd be floating around. That was their response. Okay, their reply. You'd be floating around. I said, what, like that helium balloon? Like that helium balloon?
Do you remember that when they said that at school? Do you remember that? And you get flashbacks thinking, how ridiculous is that? That we'd all be like floating around and the chairs would be floating around.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what they said. My students and adult students.
And these are adults.
Adult students as well as kids, they all said the same thing. Everybody, I'm teaching English to 60s, 70s, right down to 6-year-olds, okay? Right across the board, okay? And they all said the same thing. You would be floating around, okay? And I said, what? Like the helium balloon in my room here, in our room, look, how comes that's floating but you're not floating? how can that be floating if gravity is here, I said, gravity doesn't exist because Sir Isaac Newton himself said he couldn't prove it. It's in his book, Mathematica, Principia de Mathematica. Okay? It's a theory. Theory means kasetsu. Kasetsu in Japanese and English is theory. And a theory is always a theory. It's never been proven. So you can't.
I think a lot of it is apart from, say, people going like really into conspiracy and all of that, all the conspiracy theories and whatnot, I think a lot of it is a lot of things were discovered around a certain time several hundred years ago, and we haven't progressed since that time. And no one's really looked into anything, and everybody's just kind of relying on information that's just so out of date and so backward. And it's only now that people like us and people going out into the field doing experiments, finding out that things are not what they were told, that things will start to change. But people are so dead set in what it was. But it's like there's this MIT professor this MIT professor now coming out talking about the sun is a perfect example, People have got to start changing their viewpoints and their belief systems.
It's not
they
from you. It's not your.
Need to change their opinions.
Yeah, I had to remind my students that the information that. Sorry.
No, after you stop talking. Carry on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying that to my students. I had to remind them that the information they know about astronomy, it's all coming from the West. It's nothing to do with. You may have some of your input, but most of it is Western input. And Sir Isaac Newton was an Englishman, okay?
Yeah.
And he himself said he could not prove gravity. He said it. He couldn't prove it. All right. That's why he tried to prove it with a book 500 pages thick. And the result is there is no answer. So it's just a theory.
Yeah.
And a theory is a theory. But the scientists like to teach it like it's real. It's not real, okay? The reason why things fall down is due to their weight what they're made of and the weight. If you're lighter than air, you're going to go up. If you're heavier than air, you're going to fall down. Finish. Keep it simple. That's it. Don't try and complicate it with magnetism or anything else. Yeah, it's just simple. That's all. That's what I believe in. It's simple. Right? Gravity doesn't exist. So yeah, you know, some of my students, the kids, they're well on it. My children, they all believe. My wife, she believes the scientists. Unfortunately, at the moment, you know, but that's fine. You know, I'm not.
We're all kind of in the sort of same camp, as in we know it's not a ball flying through space. We don't really know what it is. Water goes to a level. The majority of this place has apparently got a lot of water. That's all we know.
Yeah.
But we don't really know what it is.
Yeah. But I do, Nicolas, I do feel confident that if we were able to take a plane and fly across the Earth properly, you know, and we had a chance of refilling, I feel confident it's going to be flat all the way to the ice, ice barrier, man. I feel that confident. I feel that confident.
Me too. Especially after seeing this Jay Tolan Media, his videos where he's done those really long distance shots with the with the ultraviolet or infrared camera.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
That blew me away, to be honest.
Yeah, 1,000 miles of the Hudson Bay, 1,000 miles dead level. Yeah. Dead level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, you know, well confident.
And we're not moving. We're not moving.
Thank you very much. We're not. We are definitely stationary. Now, when I say that to the Japanese people, like sometimes when I go to the shopping mall or the supermarket, and they come up to me and they're talking to me and that, and I say to them, I ask them, what shape of the Earth? My chance to do a bit of flat smacking. Then I say to them, Earth is not moving. They said, so it's a piece of deception. I said, it's a big piece of deception, yeah. You know?
Yeah, but people can't get their head around it, you know?
Yeah.
Especially I mean, I'm 48, but my parents' generation, the 70-somethings, they're really so indoctrinated, they cannot get a head around it. They really do believe that we went to the moon. When they say they went to the moon, it was like a landmark thing, you know. And I'm saying to my dad, look, Dad, it's just a fantasy. It's like no, you know. And they really believe. They really want to believe. They hang on to it so badly.
Yeah. It's engraved in their head. It's seared in their brain. It's like, seared. You know what I mean? Branded. You know what I mean? I know that feeling. I've got the same here. Yeah. You know? The same here, same story. They won't budge from it. You know,
it's just funny, you know.
Go on.
It's funny because like for example, you know, my mum, she's very much into her spirituality and sort of coming from like a sort of a Hindu perspective and all of this, and she just says, well, it's all just illusion anyway, you know. But that's just, to me, that's just her opt out because she doesn't want to talk about it. You know. That's her opt-out clause. It doesn't matter. It's all illusion anyway. It's like,
Well, I tried to tell my mum, and she's going, I know it's a globe. I know it is. You're talking about.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah. Oh. I think his line's dropped out.
Oh, yeah, he'll be back. Yeah, he sometimes is. But at the end of the conversation with my mum, really, I know it's a globe. I know we're moving. You're stupid.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, and I get passionate and I get worked up, and then they say, "Calm down."
I understand your feeling, Nicolas. It's engraved in their head.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's your family is like, come on, please, just start reasoning. So I had to describe and go through this whole thing of like trying to explain to them various things. They're kind of getting it, but it's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah, it's nice to be here, Karen. Thanks again for having me on the show. Yes, I've really enjoyed myself here.
Nice, man. Nice to meet you, you know.
We are waiting for Roxanne to join. She's messaged me. She said she'll be on in about 10 minutes. So, Jin, you had some things that you wanted to talk about. Do you want to talk about those then?
Can I move on to the next?
Yeah, go for it. That's just what I said.
Right, yeah, I'm going to talk about it now.
Yeah, milk, wasn't it?
First of all, it's about dairy.
Huh.
It's
Can't hear
about
you,
milk,
Jin.
dairy,
Yeah.
everything. Dairy,
Yeah.
dairy. That includes milk, yogurt, cheese, everything. Right. Basically, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Testing,
you're all right
testing.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1,
you're
2,
all
3,
right.
4.
Go for it. Go for it, Jin.
Okay. Thanks. Basically, this documentary, it's called Dairy, Essential Nutrition or Health Saboteur. That's the name of the documentary. Dairy, Essential Nutrition or Health Saboteur. It's just under an hour long. It was made back in 2011 by the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii. Non-profit organization, beautiful people, well-produced video. When you watch it, you'll be left in no doubt. Basically, it covers the fact that we shouldn't be drinking milk or eating cheese or yogurt because it leads to, first of all, osteoporosis, which is the brittle bone disease, especially in women, and also breast cancer, prostate cancer in the men, okay? That's the main result if you continue to do dairy all your life. Now, Norway and the Scandinavian areas, they have the most brittle bone or osteoporosis disease in the whole world, according to this documentary, okay? And basically, if you're thinking you're drinking milk to get calcium, you're not going to get calcium from that milk whatsoever.
No.
Simply because when you're a child, you need to drink mother's milk because you haven't got any teeth and your digestive system is not properly formed to take on solid foods, right? That's why we have milk. We haven't got the teeth. We can't handle the solid foods yet. That's the first point. Then when you reach 3, 4, 5, the enzymes that are in your body that would unlock the nutrition from the milk is stopped produce as when you're 4, 5, or 6, it's stopped. So then you move on to solids, of course, vegetables, fruits, meat, and so on. And meat is not also good. It's not good for us. They also said, okay. So basically, what happens is this: when you take milk or yogurt, cheese, what happens is it goes into your system. Acid is produced in your system, and in order to neutralize the acid in your system, your calcium comes out of your bones to neutralize the acid in your stomach. Okay, so basically, you drink milk, you eat yogurt, ice cream, whatever. Acid is produced. Oh my God, my body says, oh my God, what is this? It's not good for me. Calcium out of my body, and then you urinate it away. That's what happens. So you lose calcium faster than you can. Okay, that's the main.
Breaking up a little bit, Jin. Jin, just to say what.
It's warning us that we shouldn't take.
Jin, you're breaking up a little bit. Jin, just to say Roxanne's joined us. Roxanne.
I'm so sorry I'm so late. I'm
Hey,
so
Roxanne.
sorry. My deepest apologies, everyone.
Say
Thank
that
you
again,
so
Karen.
much, Karen.
You
I'm so
better
sorry
be
I'm
sorry,
late.
man. I'm just telling you right now.
Big time. I've got lots of making up to do. Karen, big kisses to you, my darling.
Roxanne.
I've got some major groveling to do right
Yeah.
about now.
What do you need, Roxanne? What do you need? Making.
Just send me your postcode and I'll get something in the Interflora for you, Karen. I'm so sorry. And Jin, I'm so sorry, everybody. How are you all doing? You okay?
Yeah, we're good. How you doing, Rox?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just on my way home just now. I had a nightmare signing into Google Hangouts. It was telling me I had the wrong sign-in code and everything. And I was like, oh, please don't do this to me now. Please.
I get that.
Hey, Roxanne, someone came in the chat room and they said, I'm only here to see Roxanne.
All right, well, go ahead, give them a timeout.
Yeah, no.
I'm
sorry, whoever wrote it, but someone put in the chat room, I'm only here to watch.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I said.
What about everyone else? Be here to watch everyone else. Everyone has to be watching everyone.
Anyway, Jin, it's a really, really, really great subject. Do you want to just talk a bit with Roxanne? Because I don't know how long she's going to be on for, and we'll get back to the calcium and the milk and all that. Is that all right?
Testing one.
Jin? Hello, Jin. Jin!
Yeah, I'm just, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm just listening to what Roxanne was saying.
Oh, bless you. Hello, Jin, my darling. Long time no speak. How are you, sweetheart?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you, darling. And how are you, my sweetheart? You're looking good?
Do you know what? I'm looking for some extra hours in the day right about now. Has anyone got any? Has anyone got any? Can I borrow a few?
Yeah, you've got another 6 hours, don't you, really?
Really? Yeah. A nice 6 hours would be good. It would be good.
All right. It's not enough hours.
Hey, by the way, it's the shortest day of the year.
Oh, really?
Oh, it is. Tomorrow is Solstice Day.
Talk about time.
Feel the energy.
Whoa.
Yeah, just let you know.
I better get as much as I can done today then.
Yeah, we've got some short days this weekend, haven't we?
Yeah.
So what were you guys talking about before our calcium talk? Were you talking about fluoride and calcium, Jim? What were you saying? It sounded really interesting.
Okay, yeah, this was something, especially for women, to be careful of consuming too much dairy, okay, because it leads to breast cancer. Okay, I'm going to leave a link to the documentary. It's only 50 minutes long, and it was done by Joseph Keon, is the PhD's name, Joseph Keon, dietitian, and he basically says that we shouldn't be consuming dairy of any kind, anything to do with dairy, just avoid it like the plague, because it causes breast cancer in women, osteoporosis, brittle bone disease, and also prostate cancer in men. And you've noticed that these things are on the increase. Scandinavian area at the highest in the world at the moment, and breast cancer even in Japan is increasing, and Japan has the lowest rates, but it's also increasing here, and they also consume dairy. So that's basically what I was trying to say. And what basically happens is that if you drink milk or you take in cheese, yogurt or whatever, your body recognizes it as something that's not good. You've got no control over it. Your body will recognize it as non-nutrition. And what happens is your body releases calcium from your bones into your stomach to neutralize the acid buildup. And then, of course, you go to the toilet and you waste that away. And the experts were saying that you lose your calcium faster than you can replenish it. And if you want to take in calcium for real, you've got to eat green leafy vegetables. If you can eat it raw, that's the best. If you can't, juice it, then drink it, then you get it all. Basically, you want to keep the enzymes alive. The enzymes need to be alive, so you take it in and you get your calcium that way. It's plant-based, not dairy-based. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people have been speaking about plant-based diets, and have you heard of anyone talking about paleo diet?
Paleo, yeah. Yes.
That ancient diet.
Yeah, the vegans and dietitians, PhDs often talk about that. They mention it, because they always harp back to the old days. People were eating much healthier than we are today. So that's the message there from that documentary. It's called, Dairy, Essential Nutrition or Health Saboteur. That's what it's called. And it's a mind-blowing one, and all my kids here in Japan, they force the kids to have the milk. They can't say no to the milk, okay? Wow. They make the kids feel awkward if they say no. But I went to the school and I said to the headmaster that I don't want my kids drinking milk, okay? They don't like it. It's not healthy. Please look into the research. I left them the information for them to check it. and a Japanese dietitian who went to the Rockefeller Center, learned what I've learned. He came back to Japan, and in the Tokyo area, they're phasing it out as we speak. But in the countryside where I am, they're not. They haven't got that information yet. And his name was Hiromi Shinya, a Japanese nutrition. Went to the Rockefeller Center. He goes to America on a regular basis. Returned back and went to the Ministry of Education and Health and said, we need to be phasing out milk. It's not a good thing to give the kids milk. Okay? So I introduced that to my headmaster of my schools. My kids don't have milk. They don't drink the stuff. Don't touch it.
Oh, well done.
No, we don't drink milk.
Done. Jin, was it you telling me that you get alkaline water for free in your supermarkets?
That's correct. Yes, we do.
Wow.
We get free alkaline water at the supermarkets.
Wow. Wow.
All you need to spend is £2.50 for a 5-litre container, which I can show you here now. I don't know if
Guys,
you
can you imagine Sainsbury's or Morrison's doing this? Just giving us free water. Chance to be a fine thing, right? Crikey.
Yeah, nothing's for free, is it?
Yeah, well, it's a 5-litre, 5-litre, just do that. It's a 5-litre container. This is it. And you take that to the supermarket and you get your water for free. This costs £2.50. This £2.
And you're able to just fill that up as you please when you go there.
Oh, he's frozen.
£2.50. You go to the supermarket and it's free forever. Free for as long as you live in the area. And I've got a water test up. I tested the alkalinity of the water, and it's bang on the money. Bang on the money.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, why don't we push for something like that in this country?
Beware of your dairy. I know you like your cheese. You love your yogurt.
Yeah, we should be pushing for that kind of stuff, shouldn't we?
Well, there was so much propaganda, wasn't there? Do you remember in the 70s? I remember in the 70s as a kid at school every morning getting a little bottle of milk. You know, they really pushed the whole milk thing.
Didn't they market it as ice cold, nice cold milk? Wasn't there the ice cold, nice cold milk machine where you could get the cans of cold milk? Yeah. We had one. I mean,
we're drinking milk from a cow. We shouldn't even drink milk from a cow. It's ridiculous.
I went.
You're right, Nick. You're right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is. It's ludicrous.
When I was at school,
That's programming in the dairy industry. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you live and you learn every day. These things that you're told are good for you aren't good for you. Carry on, Jin. Go, Jin.
Yeah.
Jin.
When I was at school, Regent's Park, we used to get milk, and for those who
Jin.
When I was at when I was at St Mary Magdalene School, Regent's Park, we used to get milk, and for those who didn't like milk, would get orange juice. Okay. And I used to take the piss out of them. You're drinking milk, you mugs. Sorry, drinking orange juice. Supposed to be drinking milk. And then when I got to the first year I had no. Second year problem, I started throwing up. When I drink.
Jin, you're breaking up a little bit. We can't really hear what you're saying because you're breaking, it keeps going. Oh, he's gone. He'll be back. Nice to see you, Rob.
Hello, lovely to see you too, Karen. How are you, darling?
Yeah, we're good, thanks. You driving around London then?
I am. I'm doing laps, babe. I'm doing laps.
Nice to meet you, Roxanne.
Yeah, you
kind
too,
of.
Nicolas. Lovely
I never
to
make it to London. Life just gets in the way.
Jin's back, way.
He's back.
Sorry about that, Sorry about that, guys and dolls.
It's all good. It's all good.
Right, it's okay. Your signal's coming from a long way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Long distance caller.
As I was saying, as I was saying, basically, we used to get milk in the same bottle and orange juice. When I got to the 3rd year of elementary school, I started throwing up every day drinking the milk. Went on for a few weeks. Then the teacher says, Jin, you don't like, I said, I don't like milk, miss. Can I not drink? Yeah, you can drink orange juice. So I went on to the orange juice at my elementary school. Yeah, because basically my body was telling me that I didn't need milk. That's basically what it was. You don't need milk. That's what my body was telling me. Remember, I said, we don't have control. We don't have control over it.
Yeah.
And now you find out that concentrated orange juice is really bad in large amounts.
Thank you. Exactly. It's sugar water. It's sugar water.
You know.
The process is.
Oh, at every turn.
Yeah. Can you believe it? They actually boil the orange. They boil the orange in these large vats at the factory. They boil the orange, so all the nutrition's gone.
Yeah.
And then they add in vitamin C. They add in powdered vitamin C. Okay, they add that in, and then they add sugar to give it the sweet, because boiled orange is an awful taste. So they put the sugar in to taste, and then they add colorings, inks, all right?
Orange of course, you've got to do that
to give it the color, right?
You've got to make it unnatural, haven't you?
Well, you've got to make it glow, you know.
I mean, and then that's it. And then you drink that. You're thinking you're drinking healthy, but you're not. I haven't once bought my children in their lives Coca-Cola. Not once.
No.
Not once.
I used to guzzle it a bit in my youth. I used to guzzle it a bit to my.
Yeah, I'm trying to remove myself from the old Coca-Cola.
Me too.
I'm trying to stop drinking it. It's like one of my weaknesses.
What used to be one of mine.
I'm glad to say that I've cut it down. Cut it down.
Stop that.
Bad habit.
Stop.
Yeah. I used to drink it when I used to live in Kentish Town. I used to drink it a lot, and when I was playing football with my mates and that. And then on TV, it came on, and it showed Coca-Cola, and it said that one can had 365 calories. So in the 70s, I went from Coca-Cola to Coca-Cola.
Damn.
No.
Darn it.
Jim, you just broke up a little bit again.
The NutraSweet was just this individual sweetener.
Right.
So I slowly moved from there to Fanta, but I don't drink. I don't drink fizzy drinks, and I don't buy fizzy drinks for my kids. Not once have I bought them a fizzy drink.
Oh, good job. Good job.
But I do tell a lie. No, when we went to Hawaii, I got them Red Bull. We went to Hawaii, Red Bull. I bought them Red Bull drink.
All the drinks.
Yeah. So
I can imagine my
occasionally
daughter on Red Bull.
a fizzy drink when we go on holiday. That's right. Now that I remember, but I haven't physically.
Jin, you've broken up again.
Mm.
You just disappeared for a couple of seconds, Jin. You're saying something, and then half your sentence goes. I don't know what that is, but you're kind of okay. Can we? While that's sorting itself out, we've got Roxanne here. You wanted to know more about her initiative on education, didn't you, Roxanne?
So, the other thing is cancer is on the increase around the world, isn't it? Cancer. Yeah?
Indeed, it is.
Right. Back in the 1960s, only 1 in 20 had cancer. 1 in 20 when I was born. Now, it's 1 in 2. And they reckon by 2030, it's gonna be worse than that. So you can't drink enough. You can't drink enough alkaline water and juice your vegetables and eat your veg. That's nature's medicine. All your vegetables are nature's medicine.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, some of us are fortunate that we've got access to good food and having been, and having an education to think, okay, you need to prepare your food, cook your food well in the right way, access to the right sort of products. But a lot of people, especially people who live in cities, they're reliant on supermarkets. They don't know where the food's coming from.
Right.
No, you're right. You're right there.
Local grown, grown in Britain, but where's it grown? How's it grown? Is it from Britain? You get food with like an EU on it. You don't know where it's come from,
Right. I watched Monsanto. Anybody know Monsanto?
Yeah, of course.
Right,
Mhm.
GMO, yeah. Well, England is importing some of that corn. Would you believe?
Right.
Really?
Probably.
Coming in. It's coming in through. It's coming from Brazil. It's going from Brazil to Europe to England. Okay.
But they monopolize the market on so many levels because they're not only selling products, they're selling the fertilizers, they're selling all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's right.
I mean,
yeah.
the crop next door to the organic crop or several miles away is being sprayed with a Monsanto spray, and the farmer up the road who wants to grow his crop more naturally is being contaminated with chemicals.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad.
It is bad.
It's really
It is
bad. And you know what? There isn't really that much awareness about it because the mainstream media won't report it.
No.
You know?
So
That's because that's the way it's been for rather a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been like that for a long time.
For donkey's years. Donkey's years. It's ridiculous.
It's all so ridiculous, you know, that only some of us seem to sort of see all this and get this. And
We're called the loonies, people.
Yeah.
So
and there's the rub.
You know,
Jin, as we've got Roxanne here, I'm not sure how long Roxanne's staying with us. I just said a minute ago, you wanted to hear a little bit about her.
Healthy, yeah. I know 6 people.
Don't you hear me, Jin? Jin, Flat Earth calling Jin. Can you hear me, Jin?
I think we've got a delay or a technical issue.
He breaks up for like half a sentence. He doesn't hear. We don't hear him. Jin, I just said you keep breaking up a bit, so just let it sort itself out. But I said we don't know how long we've got Roxanne for, and you wanted to hear about her educational. I've just forgotten the word now. Initiative, didn't you, Roxanne?
Okay. Yeah.
Go for it, Roxanne.
Okay. I want to hear what Roxanne, the podcast that she did the other day.
Oh, cool.
The
yeah.
podcast.
So,
Roxanne, the podcast with
It just broke up again. And
no,
he's
talking.
I can't hear the rest of the sentence.
He's talking, but he doesn't realise we don't hear him.
Oh, gutted. Jin, we can't hear you.
What I'll do is I'll get him to watch his hangout afterwards so that he can see that he cuts out because he doesn't realise.
Oh, bless.
That's always funny when that happens, when you're talking and they just don't hear and they keep going and they're going, they come on and their voice goes, and they're still going and you're going,
insane.
Anyway, Roxanne, oh, he's gone now. He'll be back. Damn. Roxanne.
Crikey. Yeah, babe. Yeah.
Talk about the educational.
Cool. So, me and Robin did a podcast the other day, and we aired it with Anthony Riley, Sleeping Warrior, and he is on a mission to take the Copernicus model to court.
He is. I know. It's good.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Yeah.
And we're a little bit. Since the podcast was recorded, actually, there's a few more bits and pieces that has happened. And if anybody wants the up-to-date scenario with where Anthony and I are at with this scenario, please tune into Nathan Oakley 1980s debate, because that is where Anthony is going to drop the next bit of information as and when it comes to him. I can tell you there's been a few backs and forths. I'm not sure if he's gone public with the other thing that's happened, but there's something else that's happened. Someone else has communicated with him and he's going back and forth with someone else. So watch this space. But the Copernicus model days are numbered, man. Days are numbered.
Oh,
there's a lot. There's not nails in the coffin for it, and it would be squeaky bum time for me if I was the Copernicus model. Put it that way. We're coming for it one way or the other. One way or the other, its days are numbered. I'm just literally going to get out of this Uber just now. So if you just give me a second, guys, I'm just going to jump into my house. I'm not leaving the hangout, Karen. I'll still be here, but just give me 2 minutes to talk amongst yourselves, and then I'll be back in my front room. Yeah, just give me one.
Sure. Okay, then Jin, you're back. Jin. Oh,
Okay.
you there? Yeah, you're there, Jin.
Yeah, just about heard that. What she said.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying, isn't it? That it does that. I don't know why it does that.
It's all right, I'm still here, guys. I'm at the Uber now.
Can you hear me?
I'm here to answer any questions you may have. My dog's barking like a nutter because I'm at my front door.
Yeah, well, I thought.
This came in the door. Sorry, guys. Can you hear him? He's a nutter. Mummy's home.
It sounds like he's saying, "Who is that? Who is that?"
Okay. Sorry, I'm just letting my daughter know I'm on a live hangout.
Oh.
It's a bit dark in here. She's watching movie night.
Right.
So, all right, Karen, give me 2 seconds. I'll come back in one.
Sure. Jin, how's it going with you? Can we hear you properly now? Oh, he's gone again. Yeah, what did you make of all that then, Nicolas, with the milk?
Well, I think it's with my wife being a microbiologist. I think part of her thesis was dealing with milk, and she actually works in a lab as her job for a lab that tests milk, and they research into mastitis, and they're heavily involved in research within the dairy industry. And obviously she's looking for contaminants within milk, and people bring samples to the laboratory where they test for anything, you know, E. coli or various things that's going on with milk. And she is the first person that told me that don't drink milk, just stay away from milk, don't drink it. Humans should not be drinking milk. You know?
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much there, Douglas. Nicolas, sorry.
Yeah.
Basically, what you said is absolutely correct, and that these diet nutritionists said if you're going to drink milk for the way it makes the body grow, then we should be drinking rat's milk. Apparently.
It actually strips your bones of the calcium.
Yes. That's
the reason we've been totally indoctrinated from childhood to believe that drinking milk provides you with calcium, and it's a complete scam. And by the time you're in your 60s, 70s, probably even younger, you start feeling the effects of the stripping of the calcium in your bones.
Right.
That's why there are so many problems with older people with their bones and their teeth and all of it.
The experts say that if you keep yourself mobile, keep active, your bones will remain strong. There should be nothing wrong with your bones, even at 80 years old, like here in Japan. 80s, 90s, they're running, they're sprinting. 90. A 90-year-old woman climbs a tree and she collects this special lime, but she's 90 years old and she climbs the tree to get it. And her daughters who are in their 60s can't climb up there. They can't climb up. She's 90, she's up there. And she's lowering down the basket. Wow, man, it's all on the YouTube. You can check it out. I'll send you a link if you want.
Yeah.
You see it for yourself, man. It's amazing.
It's a very interesting topic, and you just, once you realize this knowledge and you understand it and you research into it and know that this is actually not a good thing to be in taking, and you know how it builds up all your phlegm, chest problems, people that suffer from sinus problems. You know, when I was drinking milk, I was drinking milk for years, but then when I stopped because I understood that I shouldn't, it made such a difference with my breathing and my chest, you know, my nose.
I mean, I've been here and I haven't had a cold. 19 years, right? I haven't had a cold here. No, not once have I had a cold. Not once have I had a cough. Not once have I had a blocked nose. Right? I like to do exercise, so I go out. I go for a run in the mornings. I go to the mountains. I mean, I've climbed Mount Fuji, Japan's highest mountain, 14 times, and 12 times I summited. 12 times. Mount Fuji. Love it.
Amazing. And it was flat, wasn't it, Jin?
Yeah. It was flat. When I got to the top, you know, it's a beautiful, you're in the clouds when you're on Mount Fuji. You're in the clouds, man. And I tell you, it's a beautiful experience to be cooled down by the clouds when you're boiling hot, and then the cloud hits you and goes past you. Yeah, it's wonderful. And then the view is just dead level, flat plane as far as you can see.
Yeah, I've had similar
I wasn't a flat
experiences.
earther.
Yeah, similar experiences in India and the
So many
Himalayas.
wonderful pictures.
Yeah, and tabletops, tableland.
And
You
you take these wonderful. Yeah, yeah. And you take these wonderful pictures, not realizing the earth is flat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You take all these lovely, lovely pictures, and I never knew that the earth was flat.
Yeah.
And then just before I came a flat earther, I noticed I could see the moon in the daytime. Okay? It's 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:36 a.m., and the moon is up, and the sun is rising. And I'm saying to myself, that means something, doesn't it? How comes I can see the moon? Not thinking, I'm not a flat earther, I'm just trying to connect with nature, okay? It wasn't until I discovered that the earth was flat, and then, you know, the sun and the moon, then you learn. Then it all fell into place. It all fell into place, yeah. You can only see, you cannot see that on a ball.
No, you can't.
Yeah, yeah. You can't see if you're on a sphere, there's no way you can see the sun rising and the moon there in front of you. It's impossible. You can only, because when it's 6:36, it means a quarter of the day has gone. And if you're on a sphere and you calculate a quarter of the day, the moon is not visible from your country. It's gone on a sphere.
Yeah.
But on a flat plane, it's visible because it's flat and it's above you. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're with you.
Yeah. So that was a wonderful experience, wonderful realization. In that I've been taking all these wonderful pictures of nature, not realizing that it was flat all along. But then when I go back to my pictures, I felt really good that I had the insight to take the pictures anyway.
So nice.
The foresight.
So nice.
Yeah.
At the time when I was living
so
in,
I can imagine how.
the time I was living in India in the Himalayas, it was like in the early 80s. You know, it was
Right.
83, 84. I was like 13, 14-year-old. No one took pictures really. I didn't have a camera. I didn't take pictures. You know, not like it is now.
Right.
I wish I knew in retrospect. You know, to take more pictures.
Yeah. But at least you've got the memories.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, memories for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Few pictures, but you know.
That's another thing that I've noticed, that in Britain, people tend to age themselves very quickly and soon become inactive.
Yeah.
Flat earthers don't do that. Get out to nature as soon as you can. That's what I say. Enjoy it. You know, obviously it's winter now. I mean, I take my kids, we go snowboarding to keep active. Okay. And you know, I once went in one season, I went 17 times. Can't do that now because the kids are all busy and that. So, you know, we go maybe twice a year, 3 times a year. It's not expensive in Japan to do this though. It's not expensive to go skiing and snowboarding here. It's relatively cheap. We regularly get Australians coming over now because it's cheaper than going to Canada.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like a tourist destination.
Things like that.
Like a proper tourist destination.
Yeah. The Australians and New Zealanders, they come to Japan because the service is good, customer service second to none, good courses, and cost effective.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, and I've met many in New Zealand, Australian, Russians, Germans at the ski resorts, winter sports. Yeah, it's quite popular. So if you can keep yourself active enough, you'll live a long time, I feel. You know, but if you stay at home and staring at the four walls with your slippers and
you
your
can't
cap,
isolate yourself. You can't be isolating yourself. Isolating yourself's the wrong thing to do, man.
Yeah.
Don't isolate yourself.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
What's a good substitute for milk?
Okay, a good substitute for milk.
Isn't it
artichokes? Almond.
Artichokes.
Well done. And almond milk. Almond milk.
Almond milk, yeah.
We consume a lot of almond milk.
We consume a lot of that.
Okay.
Almond milk.
Yeah.
A lot of almond milk.
Yeah, that's really it. That's all I can say, really, because I don't touch the stuff at all. So I don't need milk in my life. Whatever, not even almond milk. I don't even touch almond milk. It's just off the menu.
Okay.
Anything milky is off the menu for me. Anything milky.
That's the best brand.
It's just not necessary.
This is the best stuff, really.
Yeah, water.
Well, here in UK,
water.
I don't know what it's like in the States or anywhere, but this is
Water.
really nice.
Oh, right. What's that, Nicolas? What's that, Nicolas?
This is almond milk.
Yeah, there you go.
The brand
Oh
is Good
yeah,
Health.
that's the one I use. That's the one I use.
Hey,
Sainsbury's
well done.
does that as well, and
Sainsbury's,
Waitrose.
yeah.
Yeah, Waitrose and Sainsbury's. We got
Flat
Waitrose and
Earth
Sainsbury's.
dude. Flat Earth dude. Get yourself a juicer. Get yourself a juicer.
I got one.
Get yourself a juicer. Okay?
Break it up.
That's your best drink. Liquidate your vegetables. That's your best drink.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, you're going to get everything from there. You get all your alkalinity and enzymes. I tell you, your bones will be solid. Your body will be super healthy. You'll lose weight. Feel good. You just feel good because no company. There's been no middleman. It's the farmer and you and your machine. That's it.
I love it.
So you know Mother Nature, and you know what you're getting.
Juice it up.
Yeah, juice it up. Real
Good
juice.
job.
Yeah, I introduced the juicer to my students here for the first time 3 years ago. That's when I actually got one 3 years ago, right? And they were so impressed that I laid it on for them. I took it to the elementary schools as well because I was doing a thing on drinks. The best drinks to drink. Don't drink milk. Drink this. You know, some people are allergic to certain vegetables, so I made sure that if they were allergic, don't drink it because I don't want to have any health problems. But anybody else, and they all loved it, especially the tea.
Okay, I'll buy almond milk from now on.
Yeah, go for your almonds. Yeah, if it's not expensive, go for it. Yeah,
it's nice, you know. It
no
works
milk,
well with coffee.
No milk, no yogurt, no cheese, no cream, cottage cheese, everything dairy from the cow. Don't buy it. Forget it.
I'm a sucker for camembert, though. You know, I've got to be honest. I'm a sucker for it. I'm a vegetarian, but I can't help myself with camembert.
I used to eat Scottish mature cheddar. Loved it. Scottish mature cheddar. That was my favourite cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Scottish mature cheddar, Ravita, slice of apple, glass of white wine. I was well away. back in the day.
A little bit won't be bad for you, will it? It's if you're just sort of like honking in all the bad things and everything's dairy or everything's cheese or everything, then it's bad for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit like you. I mean, we've managed to get to this. We're still all here, alive.
Yeah, exactly.
But how healthy are we? How healthy are we? What can we do? How active are we? That's the thing. Because it's a silent killer. It's a silent killer, isn't it? That's what you've got to remember. It's a silent killer. So,
Yeah, it is.
But, you know.
There's no hope for me then, because I love cheese and I'm disabled, so I'm the next on the list.
Love you, Patricia.
Love you too, Roxanne.
Patricia.
Yes, I spoke. Yes.
Hey.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Patricia, when you hear Jin say that, do you think that might have caused some of the things, or it's just nothing to do with that with you?
Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's in your family, isn't it? Your sister did it as well, hasn't she? And your mum did. So it's in your family, isn't it?
I mean, it could be a bit of everything, couldn't it? It's genetic, lifestyle, everything. But, you know, I am working towards a better lifestyle, you know, like food-wise, I mean. But it's just such a slow process. I mean, I love cheese. You just talking about cheese makes me want to go have a cheese and toast and cheese sandwich or something, you know. Cheese on toast or I'm like, I'm drooling.
Black cracker.
Got me in the mood for one as well.
Everybody's going to make
Wait,
cheese
Cheese
now.
on toast. Cheese on toast. Cheese on toast.
Yeah, if you watch the documentary that I'm going to send you the link later, he says exactly the same thing. Everybody wants to eat cheese now, don't you, and all that, you know, and you know, but you've got to not eat it. You've got to not eat it. It's almost impossible for some people. As long as you cut down, and that's it. You know, if you can't give it up, just cut it down slightly. That's all.
It's just trying to get a balance, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, you can't completely give it up. As long as you're cutting down and you're introducing, you know, the good stuff coming in, you're balancing up. You know, it's just down to every individual. You know, it's just the main worry is breast cancer. That's the worry. That was my alarm bell. Breast cancer, osteoporosis, and prostate cancer. So you know, it's up to you. And
Can I just say something else while I'm feeling in the mood? You were saying about milk. I remember, I don't know when it was, 70s, 80s, one of these comedians saying, "Ain't milk brilliant?" I don't know if you remember the advert for it. And also, Jamie Oliver was on I think it was a TED Talk, and he was saying that they were going to put sugar in milk to make the kids more addicted to it. And I'm like, what?
What?
No. Terrible.
It's
a terrible idea. You see? They're really trying to kill us. Trying to kill everyone, aren't they?
Well, they just want to make you sick so that you're reliant on their system, you know? That's all it is.
Yes, that's right. Well said, Nicolas.
We might as well just take a leaf out of Ben Stiller's book and drink cat milk, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Apparently, if you want to drink milk that's going to make you big, and drink rat's milk, rat's milk.
To be honest with you, drinking cow's milk is exactly the same as drinking camel's milk.
Yeah.
Or horse milk.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit different, but when Martin Kenny was on last time, he was explaining that he had some distilled water, and then one of the people put their hands in it and then gave it to someone and said, "Do you want to drink it now?" And they all went, "No, I don't want it." And then they explained what's really in water, because if you knew what they were doing to the water, you wouldn't drink the water. And in fact, that distilled water with the person's hands had been in it, it was cleaner than the water you're drinking out of the tap.
Yeah, blinded.
I think it's the fact, Robert uses these words, Robert Forbes. They don't know because they don't know. And that's why we're here, is because we've been so educated wrongly, listen to the wrong things. I mean, you know that they really pushed milk. And I remember when they took the milk out of school and everybody was quite upset about it and opposing it, because they were saying this is really good for children to have in the morning, you know, especially, I suppose, if you're in inner cities and they were making sure children had milk, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, now, like, no, don't give them the milk. We grew up on it, didn't we? We had little bottles of milk at school.
Yeah.
Milk with your corn.
It's really
in the morning.
You know the film with the guy with the glasses, and you can see, when he puts the glasses on, you can see what they mean. This is what's going on. If only we really knew what it was all about.
Doggies.
I know. Sorry, mine's just not leaving me alone. Sorry, he wants to be a part of your hangout, Karen. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi, Karen. Hi, you like Karen?
Hello.
Aww. Sorry, guys. He's got absolutely nothing to do with the hangout, so why he's sitting here is beyond me. Ridiculous. Sorry.
What's to be with his mum?
No, it's ridiculous. He won't give up. He'll just start barking. So I thought I'll bring him onto the lap, and then it won't cause too much disturbance. And here he is, causing a disturbance. Sorry, guys.
He's all right. He's been good. He's been good. Roxanne, as you were here when you disappeared, do you just want to finish the education bit off then? This is you've told us where it's going to be, but what's it about?
Yeah.
So basically, it's being taught in a partisan fashion. It is not being no fair opposing views being taught. And as long as that's happening, they're actually breaking the law inadvertently by doing so. Anthony has so gratefully researched enough to actually bring out the sections of the law that they're breaching. We've brought the attention to the Education Department of Parliament, and they've tried to run us round the houses, which Anthony has taken on and run with. And so now that's now moving on. He's seeking legal representation from one of the top law firms in the country, and we're going to take it to the highest court in the land until we get a bunch of people that reckon they're going to prove. We're going to need proof, scientific proof of gravity shown in a courtroom. We're going to need proof of Earth orbiting anything, okay? Just anything. Earth orbiting anything. We need proof of that. We also need proof of Earth's axis rotation given to us in court. We need proof, scientific proof, of course, scientific proof of curvature, scientific proof of a 93 million mile away sun, scientific proof of how we can have a gas pressure in a vacuum of space. That'd be interesting to see them do in a courtroom. And we also want scientific proof of a self-perpetuating molten iron core shown in court. And if anyone else has got anything they want to throw in there, we'll be more than happy to take your request in. You know, send your self-addressed envelope to PO Box. flatter.provethe-globe.com.
I think that's a pretty good list. I think you got a good list there. Yeah,
that's a good list.
Listen, if they can give us those 7 scientific proofs, we'll eat our hats. But hear what? We all know, you know, as well as I know, none of those evidential scientific proofs are going to be brought to a courtroom. So we need to stop teaching and propagating and pushing the the Copernicus model as if it's fact. It needs to be taught to children as if it's fact. Listen, if you're going to teach one model, then you better teach them all or teach none at all. And we're going with the whole, well, do you want to teach them all? No, I didn't think you wanted to. So stop teaching any. Okay? Just stop it. But we all know that that is a very, very, very pivotal card in the bigger scheme of things. Because once you break the scheme, remember, there's international ministries of education. In fact, we could sit here and probably go through the countries that don't have a ministry of education more so than we should go through the countries that do. Because I could tell you on one hand the amount of countries that do not subscribe to an education ministry. And for anyone that's watching, please don't take my word for this. Go and research that for yourself. Go and have a look at internationally when the ministry started in the country you're looking at and what that reverse engineers to. Because it all reverse engineers to one singular point in around the 1700s, which, by the way, that's not primal knowledge. That's just stuff that's written down. And we all know that that's written down by the victors. So let's have a courtroom. Let's have a jury. Let's have an opposing view. And let's have this courtroom prove beyond reasonable doubt all these things I've just listed out, because like I said, we all know that they cannot walk into a courtroom and prove things that are based on the freaking assumptions. So on that note, you know,
I agree with you, Rob. When I went to college and I did reception, to learn to be a receptionist, we had to learn which weren't there anymore, but you still learnt them. You still had to go through them. So if they're all there, why can't all? What is the problem? You say concave, like whatever, but just
teach them all. May as well teach them all, or none at all. How about none?
Teach them all or none at all.
The thing is,
I mean,
teach them all and none at all.
Love it.
The thing is, though, the whole education system
in Singapore
is so tied up within each other. It's so you've got NASA that's pumping millions into the education system. BBC is completely in bed with NASA. NASA's in bed with the whole curriculum system. The education system they're all so intertwined with each other for funding, for money. Is how do you battle the Hydra with many heads? You know.
We've got to start chipping away at the block somewhere, though, haven't we?
And we are. And it's definitely making waves, you know, and things are happening and things are moving and people are becoming aware. But this is a very, very interesting beast.
It is, and it's one to watch. Like I said, we're pushing for reform, but we're pushing for reform in the right direction. Let's not push out more lies. Let's remove the lies and let's just leave ourselves with the possibilities of what could be. One thing we definitely know beyond reasonable doubt is that we're definitely not living on what we were taught we were living on. What we're living on I definitely think it's up for debate. But what we definitely know is what we've been taught is an absolute load of poppycock.
Absolutely. We don't know what this is.
Absolutely. Well said, Roxanne.
Absolutely.
I
Well
want to
said.
say it's an absolute pile of shit.
That's
Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
Yeah,
What
that's
right.
We're going to go for the jugular. That's what you're going for, the jugular.
Yeah, that's right. We know that they can't prove that what we've been taught is what we're living on. We know that outer space does not exist as we know it. We know that the curvature calculator is based on an assumption, so we know it's all BS. So we need a little bit of clarity on this, and they need to.
Isn't it? That's what theory is, an assumption. It's all an assumption.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it just seems crazy. They're lying to us and saying they're taking this $50-odd million a day to pretend to go to space. We need what we're really living on.
Exactly.
Well, they probably know, don't they? They do, but they're not sharing it with us, are they?
They presume it's all done and dusted, you know, Karen. Everyone's like in that belief system. They think, well, we're on a ball, that's it.
I mean, but they call us crazy, but what's more crazy than going like 3 different directions, one anti-clockwise with the moon, and that's doing 0 at the poles and 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. It's about 200 and whatever it is, 1,000 miles an hour at Mach 80.
Where would the water go? Where would the water go?
Yeah.
The water would like bulge out one side and swing around us. It would like. It would just be insane, you know.
Oh yeah, done that bit. Yeah. Water to a ball, and yet a butterfly can fly off.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous. Totally.
And anyway, I find this thing as well. You know, if gravity was here, what they're kind of showing us, because we know the ISS is a lie as well, but what they show with the water wobbling and everything, that's the kind of life we would have. Everything would be doing something different than what we experience. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know the weapon called the railgun from the US? Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That weapon is a magnetic kinetic power. So there's no gunpowder. It's just magnetic kinetic. And once it's fired, it travels at Mach 7 and can hit a target 120 miles away. 120 miles away, bullseye, pinpoint, line of sight targeting. That proves flat Earth in itself.
Absolutely.
120 miles. At Mach
the military know that all the stuff that they use is made for a flat plane, all the missiles, all that.
Well, submarines.
They took them off tanks, and because that's what that guy from the Navy, he said they took them off the tanks and put them straight onto ships without altering anything. Yeah, and so of course the ship's moving.
Right.
It's just that.
Submarines.
Yeah, and all it is they didn't take none of these things take the curvature of the Earth into consideration. No missiles. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Exactly. The Coriolis effect is an old wives' tale. You know what I mean?
Anyway, should we just finish Roxanne's bit and anything you want, Jin? Let Roxanne just finish her bit, because obviously that was about education. That's all that's okay. We're on an open hangout, aren't we? But Roxanne, so what do you want to happen then?
So we're going to take it to the highest court in the land, and we're not going to stop until we get some kind of open and transparent reform for education, especially in the national curriculum. And the national curriculum is bound by the ministries, which are bound by international ministries. And when you look at international education, it's pretty much universal. So, you know, setting a principle with one ministry would be then moving forward for a domino effect with other ministries. So we would hope in the long term it to be an international solution, not just a national solution. But to start with a national solution would be to set a principle.
So this national ministry, Roxanne, this national ministry, are they tied up with all the curriculums, say, across Europe? What does that include? The United States, do they have the same curriculum?
Yes, they've got ministries in South America, South Africa, Europe, Asia, Russia. The ministries are international. Like I said, it would be easier for me to tell you the countries that don't have a ministry for education.
Yeah.
than the countries that do. Just a handful, literally, just a handful.
Yeah, I can
The
imagine.
G20, the G20s, G30.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, to set a principle with one would be then moving forward to then have a domino effect with others. Once we can get one on the side, it would then show good stead for others. But as I said, Anthony's got a few other things up his sleeve just now. He's communicated with a few other people. I'm not sure if he's spoken about it on Nathan, so I'll leave that to him. But there is some good things in the pipeline.
No, he has said a few things. I've been sort of catching up with a few things that he said on Nathan's Hangout, Nathan's debates. It does sound interesting. And I did actually catch you guys having a bit of a conversation a couple of weeks ago, I think, when he didn't think he was live. Yeah.
Don't you just
I caught that hangout. It was really good.
But it was
though.
good. It was juicy. It was, instead of it talking about people, it was like a juicy private communication talking about ideas. Yeah. So I mean, it just goes to show when it's good that you don't talk about people. Really it's good that we weren't talking about people and we were talking about ideas.
No, it's really nice. It was really nice. It was really nice to catch that and then realise that it wasn't meant to be, and it just shows that people are sincere, you know.
Yeah.
And they can
that
be.
Was a nice
and they
thing.
can
be. Yeah. And you saw how organic the idea is. It was just, you know, this is the way it should go, and how about it? Let's do it.
I just think that people, now that we're kind of like a lot of people are intermingling within channels and sort of like, and people meeting people in the flesh at different meetups or whatever, people are starting to realise that it's not like Mad Magazine spy versus spy. It's really not, you know. It's just not like that.
But understandably so, we all come from different walks of life, we're all from different creeds, different backgrounds, and obviously everyone's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But as long as we can kind of leave our egos at the door and just understand that we're all having conversations for the greater good. As cheesy as that sounds, it's the truth. It's the truth. And maybe that's what we should end 2018 on. What did we learn from 2018? Nothing's going to work if we don't work together.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to work if we can't work together.
Absolutely. Because not everybody's a double agent.
Can I just say well done to a big shout out to Harry and the Flat Earth Brigade for what they did this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, massive shout out to John Smith Global, Harry, Lady Industry, John Shaw, Chris UK, everyone.
Robin,
if you're still there, is he still there?
Robin. And Robin.
And Roxanne.
Rounds of applause for those amazing
for everybody.
people.
That was amazing.
For everyone that's out there talking in public, having human interactions, bringing it out in public in whatever way they can. Big up yourself, round of applause for yourself. Pat yourself on the back for an amazing 2018 and bringing it out of your house and bringing it out onto the streets, whether it's at work, school, friends, family, people you don't know, people you're standing in the bus stop, whatever you've done, whether the cameras have been on you or not, you've done your bit, so well done.
However you can do it, you know.
Yep, well done. Yeah.
Keep planting those seeds.
Excellent work. You know. Yeah, that was just truly amazing to watch. Truly.
It's breaking up a bit on my side, I'll be honest. I can't hear everything everyone's saying. It's an incredibly bad connection.
Okay, well, I'm going to come off and the camera up is playing up here. Okay, one moment.
Yeah, turn your camera off, Jin. It'll be better if you turn your camera off.
Yeah, I've just done.
I'll do the same, Karen. I'll do the same. It might help a little bit.
Yeah, it helps with your bandwidth. That's why I don't put mine on. And anyway, my voice never matches the, as I'm talking, it's always at a different rate. So,
like a dubbed movie.
Pretty perfect. And other people, we get bits of problems, don't we? Oh, so well done, Roxanne. That's brilliant news then.
Awesome. Yeah. And I believe you've got the amazing Dave, Kat, and Andrea coming on Friday tomorrow, and they're going to be talking about the Truth Talks that they're doing on the 27th. So there's that coming up next week as well.
Yeah, and also on that hangout, Martin Leakey's joining as well. So
oi oi
oi oi oi oi oi
oi oi.
When's that hangout?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, can I ask another question of everybody?
Go for it.
Where do you stand on voting in the electoral system these days as a flat earther? What's your feelings about voting?
I've got a yellow jacket instead of voting. I don't know about anyone else, but yellow jackets. High-vis jackets seem to get the word across a little bit better than a meaningless vote. So my vote is a high-vis jacket. I'm going to get mine out of the cup. Obviously, I used to do construction, so I've got high-vis jackets. I've got high-vis puffer jackets. I've got high-vis everything. So I'm going to get my PPI back out the wardrobe for old time's sake. So yeah, high-vis for me all the way. No voting for me. High-vis all the way.
Thank you very much, Roxanne. I was talking to the Flat Earth dude earlier on today.
Yeah.
And I was talking about, you know, revolutions and how it's our duty in the Constitution and in the Magna Carta to redress if the government is moving away from the people, if it's not of the people, yeah?
Yeah.
If it's gone out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I said, in our case, if we were going to go out there, we should go out there in our underpants, like a Zulu warrior, no weapons, right? And guess what?
Flat pants.
Go out.
Whoops, you're breaking up again, Jim.
Get your flat pants
Sorry.
on.
That's okay. It's just that you broke. Jin, what I reckon you should do is when we finish the hangout is go and watch, and then you can see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Thanks. Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing that you dip out for some reason. It's just a signal thing, but we just can't always hear everything you say.
Yeah.
Damn, it's so annoying.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not like that on Skype, but he is a bit. His voice goes a bit like that on Hangouts.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right, my darling.
Man, it's not. It's just the technology, you know.
Are you there, Jin?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think Roxanne just gone on silent for a bit there, so I think she's finished now on that. So, you got what was the other things you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I was talking about like voting and a documentary called Vote Scam. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want, you can watch that one. It's called Vote Scam: The Stealing of America, and it documents two guys, James Collier and Kenneth Collier, the Collier brothers. They dedicated 25 years of their lives exposing the corruptness of the American electoral system. Okay, 25 years. And it's just a brilliant eye-opener. It's less than an hour long. Vote Scam: The Stealing of America. I'm going to leave it in the link. It just proves that there's no need for their vote doesn't mean a thing. They're wasting their time voting, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Vote Scam.
I'm not voting anymore.
Right, you know.
I'm not going to vote anymore. It's a waste.
Yeah.
You're not going to. You're voting for nothing anyway. But yeah, if we need to stop voting.
Yeah, I've never voted in my life, purely because I never saw anything worth voting for. That's why I've never voted. All right, and also, you know, too busy working. That was the other thing as well. So they always put these things on when you're busy. But I never wanted to vote anyway. But Vote Scam just highlights the fact that it doesn't mean a thing. It talks from Kennedy's death. They computerized the electoral system and it was programmed. So if you voted for your favorite candidate, the first 5 would go to your candidate, but the other 5 would go to your opponents, even though you're voting for your favorite candidates. They programmed the computers.
That's disgusting, isn't it?
It's just the way it is. You know?
Right.
We're run by criminals and always have been.
That's it. That's it.
You know, these criminal, these elite royal these bloodlines that stick to themselves. They've been, you know, marrying into their own different elite families. They've been criminal gangs for hundreds of years. You know.
Exactly.
Very, very clever. So, very, very, very evil. Very clever.
Yeah, very evil, very clever. You're absolutely right, man.
And it's a shame, you know, and these people, you know, also that within these families, you know, these different families, there are going to be people born into that reality that are thinking, I really wish I wasn't part of this, you know, because so many of those people don't want to be there, really. Believe you me, they don't want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's using the elite as the kind of, they're the boogeyman and they're all evil and they're all like satanic and they're all doing magic rituals or whatever, invoking demons and all that absolute nonsense. But they're just, there's going to be a lot of people within those families that are that don't want to be part of the power, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's not really a good life. It's not
a good life, you know. Once you get beyond the materialism and the money and all the rewards and the catchings and trappings of all of that mentality, imagine being born into a system where you've got to promote all of that all of the time.
Yeah, it's true. You've got to live the lie all the time.
All the time.
I think maybe this is why flat Earth is becoming, you know, it's becoming a thing, because they want us to know something. They're trying to evoke something, trying to start trouble or whatever. But
I mean, like these astronauts, how do they do that? How do they lie? How can they lie like that?
Yeah.
I just don't know how a human being can really...
Money?
Yeah, but when you've got enough money, it becomes boring, the money, when you've got enough. Tell you that. When you've got enough money, money becomes boring in the end when you've got that much of it.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Oh, absolutely, of course. Because if you've got half a brain, you know that you'll never fill the hole. It never will satisfy you.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And most people's desires in reality isn't so expensive. Live healthy, live happy, be loved.
It's really simple.
Yeah, it's just inexpensive, that.
Yeah.
And go on a holiday with your family, meet other people. You know, it's within your budget, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to be a multi-billionaire to do that. That's the thing. If the system's working right.
You know, you really see it in countries like especially in Britain. You really see the Stockholm syndrome is just so inbred. It's so inbuilt. You know, these families are criminals. They're blatant criminal families, and there are people lining up to wave their flags at them as they pass by.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Please, just beat me, oh master, beat me some more.
Okay, I'll give you. Let me tell you another little story that I discovered recently. When I say recently, a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Saipan. I went to Saipan on a holiday with my family. And Saipan was once owned by the Spanish. Then it was controlled by the Americans. Then it was controlled by the Japanese. And then by the Second World War now, the Americans won back the island. And the Japanese leader, said to his people who are living on the island, don't let the Americans capture you, otherwise they'll rape you and kill you. So what do? They jump off. They take their kids and jump off the cliff, kill themselves.
Jesus.
You can see it on the YouTube. It's there. You can see them jumping off. Terrible.
That's insane.
I said to my kids, don't ever think like this. Yeah, this is not a good thing to do. Yeah, okay. Don't ever wave your flag to no leader.
No,
he's not your leader. Yeah, he's not your leader. I said, okay. Your leader is me and yourself. Finish.
Yeah.
When you become a man, you're your own leader. Okay, but until then, there is no other leader that you obey. Crazy. Shocking.
Yeah.
It is. It's all shocking. It's all the truth. But when you find out the truth, it's all horrible, because all these things we believed in and took for granted are just rubbish.
Yeah. You know, I remember thinking that people... Sorry, Karen. Yeah, people have died and not realised the other's black.
It's a nasty game we've been put in, but carry on, Jin.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I was saying, people have died. I remember thinking back in 2016, people have died and not known the earth is flat. Bloody hell, I thought to myself.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. And then Roxanne said it as well. There is no way that an asteroid is going to hit us anytime soon.
No
That's
way.
not happening.
No.
Yeah. Roxanne saying that as well. I said, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much fear, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, and we've all been
Order out of
with
chaos.
so much fear. Everyone thinks that depending on the mindset and the belief system that you've brought yourself into, you've got fear for everyone. There's a flavour of fear for everyone.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And I find it very interesting to see a lot of the American Christian flat earthers are still very, very apocalyptic, and they almost, though they've got themselves off this spinning ball, they want to be trapped inside a snow globe. They like that. I find that very strange, you know, that they've gone from one prison to another prison, and it's all very apocalyptic and negative and evil and dark. And, you know.
Now, Nicolas, well said there, because I was speaking to those guys yesterday and the day before, and I said to them this: I do not need religion to teach me how to love man and womankind on this earth and animal kind.
We have our own moral compass.
Yes, I don't need to be under that umbrella. I don't need to pick up the book. I don't need Jesus in my life. I'm living my life my way, and it's on par with nature. It's not. I don't need that kind of guidance. I said, no disrespect to you guys who are religious. I'm knocking you guys, but I'm not there with that. I am living as a human being. I shake your hand, I give you a hug, and we move on together. Why would I want to harm you? Do you know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah.
There's
been this
book that
society's been made to believe that everybody's out to harm everybody, and the majority of people would not harm a fly.
Exactly.
To be honest, there are people. I'm not naive. There are people out there that are full of ego, and they want to manipulate, and they want to overpower other people, and they're not good people, and they tend to end up in the jobs that attract those sort of people, and that's your government.
Yeah, exactly.
Or your police force, you know.
Yeah.
These organisations attract the people that need that. You know.
Yeah.
But the majority of people just want to get on. They just want to be they just want to be okay. You know. We just want to get on with each other, and we would really.
Yeah. So if you pardon the pun, with Roxanne's news, good things are coming over the horizon.
Absolutely.
Usually. Yeah, man.
About time.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be. Isn't it nice to be part of a sort of an awareness, a group of people that are awakening and starting to plant seeds, and people that are completely not awake, but things are starting to change. There's a shift.
Yeah, we're living in interesting times, and I'm absolutely honoured to be talking to all of you and sharing the same ideas and the same wishes and the same hopes and goals.
Yeah. Likewise.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, totally. We're on a journey, you know.
Yeah.
Well said. Everyone's on their pursuit of truth, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very personal, but it could be so much more. It could be more unified, but it's a very personal thing at the same time, you know.
Yeah, it's an individual thing.
Yeah.
At the same time, it brings you together with other people.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the immigration office next week to extend my visa here to be in this country. So what I did in 2016, I started shouting out that the Earth was flat. 2017, I handed out flat Earth maps. This year, I'm going to do the same. So whilst I'm there, I just said, that's what I do. I just print them out on a piece of paper and then hand them out and say, the Earth is flat. We're not spinning. You know, and Japanese people, I speak to them in Japanese, English, you know, and outside the immigration office.
Well done, you.
That's just my way, as little as it is, but that's what I do. And then with my students here that come to me here, I give them a laminated Gleason's map.
All right.
Just, you know, that's all, you know.
Oh. Well,
I'd like you say.
You know what? However you can package up the truth and get it out there, good on you. Because the more the better.
Yeah, it's the only way I can kind of like educate them. You know, some of the kids want them because they say it's they understand how the sun and moon work now, and they want it on their wall. They want it. They said, I want it, so I had to go and make it. You know,
Wow.
I had to go to get them, and that's what I've done with students. It's only an A4 size, but it's laminated.
Wow.
And they hang it on their walls. You know, those are the ones who are open-minded and aware that they're living on a flat Earth. Yeah. But I have to say, I did lose about a quarter of my students over flat Earth, 2016.
Yes.
Wow.
Because they think you're mad, don't they? It's nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't resonate with them at all, does it? Instead of just going, oh, really? And say, well, I might look into it. They all go a bit weird, don't they? It just doesn't resonate with them.
Oh, yeah, they just stopped bringing their kids and that. And the adults said they didn't want to come back anymore. Well, okay, fine, you know. Do you know what I mean? You know, one student said, I shouldn't teach flat Earth to the kids. I said, if you don't teach them the truth, how are you going to change the world? How are we going to change the world? You want change, but yet you vote. I said to them, you want change in your country, but you're voting. Now, I'm trying to teach the children the truth about where they live, and you're saying they mustn't do that.
But they don't believe you.
And then, no, you know what it is?
They
This
don't
woman,
believe
she
you.
left. Yeah, she left me, and then she came back 2 months later. Came back in the end. I don't know where she went. She went to another school, I think. Didn't have a good time, and she came back.
Oh, good.
And I said, yeah, I said, thank you very much. I was so overjoyed that she came back, you know what I mean?
Nice.
But she actually left. She's in her 60s. She's in her 60s. And she said she went to another English school run by an American, but for a company, Nova School. And she didn't like it. She didn't like it at all. With her, it was 1-to-1, you see, me and her, 1-to-1. She preferred that rather than being in a group. But she came back, yeah. But she was the one who said I shouldn't be teaching, you know, and she got really upset and left, you know, in her huff. She left in her huff.
No, we really upset people, don't we?
Yeah.
We tell them.
She left in her huff. She said the atmosphere today is negative, she said. And I'm giving positive news.
Yeah, very funny.
2 months later, she came back. Yeah.
That's good, though.
Start planting more seeds.
Yeah, she came back. I was happy there, but she was the only one that's returned. All the others left, never came back. And then I see them in the festivals. I see kids in the festivals, right? Because we have a number of festivals here during the summer, spring, autumn. And I asked them, I said, what's the shape of the earth? And they said, it's flat, just like that. They never changed their mind. I was so happy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I love
they
hearing
never,
things like that. Love it.
Yeah, they can't go back to the ball. They can't. They know it's silly.
You
know,
can't.
I told them, I said, does the plane fly upside down? This is my number one. Does the plane fly upside down? That's the one I say. And they said, no, it doesn't. It doesn't fly upside down. It's silly because they said all your food would fall off the plate. That's what they said. Kids, you know the truth. They know the truth, man. Yeah. So that's my number one.
That's why they tell you to put the trays up.
Sorry?
That's why they tell you to put the trays up when you're not eating. It's just in case, you know, while you're going over the curb.
Yeah. I actually, in 2016, we went to Okinawa. I downloaded a spirit level app on my iPhone to show the kids that show my kids that the plane is level all the way. We knew it, but we just wanted to see it for sure with the spirit level, yeah? And the plane is level. It's a dead level flight.
Well, that's proper science, isn't it?
Yeah, it didn't move. The stewardess were asking us what we were doing, okay? And I said to her, we're flying very level, aren't we? Very flat and level.
We're flying across a flat plane on your free energy aircraft.
Aircraft, yeah, that's cost an arm and a leg, yeah. Yeah, you know.
And where did you put that fuel, by the way?
Yeah, exactly. Where is it? It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
All those times they used to charge the surcharge, you know, when the fuel prices were going up and they were price gouging, you know, charging you an extra surcharge for flying with them. Oh man, that was terrible. 2008, after the Lehman shock, 2008 onwards, they were putting some serious surcharges for 2 years, 28, 2010. Yeah. I didn't travel then. Didn't travel anywhere then.
No.
So, yeah, well, I just didn't want to pay the extra.
People are starting to figure out what's really going on now, so they really, I don't know what their move's going to be in a few years' time.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in 5 years' time.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping by then they're teaching geocentric. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, not well. 5 years. Ooh.
Well, I'm just hopeful that it's something factual. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be good.
It's got to happen. 5 years. 5 years. More flat earthers to be. The flat earthers now. Surely.
Breaking up a bit.
Breaking up a bit, Jin. Ellie.
Sorry.
My daughter's now singing. Got her phone going and singing. Yeah. So you broke up a bit, Jin. Say that again.
I said flat earthers' numbers would have increased, I hope, in 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be good.
For sure.
Yeah.
It would. What does it take? I'm just a bit like gobsmacked with the amount of like everybody's starting to say, oh, but more people are watching, you know, YouTube now and not watching the television, and there's all this, and there are so many people, even with the videos about NASA. There's not just me, there's bling bling, there's loads of people making videos showing all the mistakes. Yeah. You think that someone would stand up now and go, enough is enough.
But they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Something doesn't look right with NASA. They just carry on. They just carry on. Completely carry on. It's just really, oh my goodness.
It's true. So true.
They really think they're up there. And I'm like saying, look, there's these. They're filming them in water. It's really obvious. Look, chroma key. There's a guy's flipper. Look. There's an aqualung. There's a scuba diver's tank. Look. And it's like, no, they can't get it.
Yeah, with their $23 million toilet. $23 million toilet, folks. $23 million toilet.
That's insane.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you were to look on the YouTube at how to use that toilet, those astronauts are very shy. Those astronauts are very shy. No, you go first. No, you go first.
No,
you go first, Barry. Yeah. $23 million toilet.
6 hours space walks
underwater.
All they're doing is
they swallow the fluoride as well. They swallow the toothpaste.
Yeah. So, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. I saw that. You're right.
Yeah. There's two ways: spit it out or swallow it. But they swallow it. So they're being monitored 24/7. Their heartbeats, everything. We would not let them swallow fluoride every day.
Oh yeah, but look at them though. Have you seen the majority of astronauts? They look really weird, don't they? They look like weird inbred plastic people things.
Yeah.
They don't look clever at all. They look really dumb.
Yeah.
They do that.
I think every single one of those is computer generated. I don't think any people anymore. They start off as real people, but everything they're putting out, and this is why the glitches and you've got it there. They stand so weird. They look ridiculous.
Did everybody see that one where the guy's talking about? He's asked a question. He's asking a question from a kid. What made him become an astronaut? Yeah, and at the end he says, "Talking from Maine, New York, where we're talking from you now." Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't in space. She mentioned the town, a state in America, a city in America.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Maine. And then the look on his face after he realised he made a mistake. The body language.
They're doing 5 miles a minute. So how could they ever film anything? Everything be whoosh. I know that they're supposed to be in the vacuum of space, but not even when the rockets are going up, when they're doing. I mean, I put one out the other day. They said that their rocket was going 8,000 miles an hour. It's already down the speed of sound. We already know what a plane looks like here. So going up, there should be this vapor on it. No, you just see smoke.
Oh yeah, no. The G forces at 17,500 miles an hour would liquidize your brain. It'd be running out your ears and nose.
Yeah, and also if they're going that fast, it literally wouldn't take them very long. They go up, whoosh, they'd be there. Be going right. We'll be there in about 15 minutes.
That's right. True. 5 miles a second. 5 miles a second. That speed is.
It's just insanity.
You can't imagine it, can you? That's like in 2. It was in 2 minutes. They'd be from here to Hungerford. It's just 5 miles a second. Sorry,
wow.
In 2 seconds, they'd be dunk 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 dunk. They've gone from here to 10 miles to dunk. That's just impossible.
Yeah. Possible. The human body couldn't sustain that pressure. Couldn't sustain it.
They'd be splattered on the pillow, wouldn't
they? You'd be dead in your spacesuit. You'd be dead in your spacesuit. All your brains running out your nose and your ears. You know?
It's all right, man. All you need is tin foil.
I think we should put some politicians in a rocket and actually watch them be put in there and send them off.
Yeah. Put proper camera, live feed it to us all. Yeah.
Thing is, though, they did get us all to believe it. We were all like, well, Jin said that it was with him for a long time, but a lot of people have always known it from a child. But we all thought these things. We probably didn't take any notice. Oh, look, there's the space shuttle. Oh, look, we've been to the moon. Oh, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been a cynic. I've always questioned it. I've always thought that it's just too weird. Something's not right. You know, I was always the one that peed on everyone's bonfire, unfortunately.
I used to think. I was always thinking like this, right? If the Earth was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, right, 1,036 miles an hour at the equator, and then rotating around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour, I used to think if the Earth suddenly just stopped, suddenly we would all fly off.
Yeah.
That's what I used to think for years. All through the 80s, all through the 90s. That's what I used to think.
The thing that gets me, right, that got me when I was a kid was, okay, they said you're on a sphere, right? And the sphere is tilted on its axis, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, a sphere in space is a sphere. A sphere it's impossible to have an axis on a sphere unless it was actually joined to something.
Right. Exactly.
So if you had a ball, if you had a sphere and you join that to a metal rod and you tilted the metal rod, the metal rod would then be at a tilted axis, right?
Right.
But the sphere still wouldn't be, because the sphere's round and a sphere. There is no middle, top, side, up or down. So there is no axis. There is no tilt. You can't tilt a sphere.
Exactly. Only when it
the globe is at a tilt, wobbling on its tilt.
Yeah, it's true. But then apparently though, you would feel a slight uneasiness on the spin. You'd feel the spin though. You should feel the spin.
Yeah, you should feel the spin, but you should also feel the kind of glitch on the axis. There should be a big rod out in space.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. The glitch on the axis. Yes, that imbalance, that slight imbalance. Yes.
Where's the rod? Where's the rod holding the sphere?
Yeah. Robert Pisano, he put out a video, okay, about, and it takes you from the sun all the way through the universe. It's about a 2-hour long video, right? And I'll tell you, you know it's fake. You just know it's fake. It's a journey. You're on a journey from the sun, and then he's condensed it to scale, right? Time scale. But you're leaving the sun, and now you want to go to the next planet, and the distance involved, and there's nothingness, just complete black, dark, nothing for minutes, and then now you're approaching the first planet. I think it's Neptune or whatever it is.
That was a really good channel, wasn't it? Robert Bassano's Planete Veritas.
Yeah, Planete Veritas. Yeah, I love that.
Me too. Excellent.
Yeah, with what's his name? Denzel Washington on the front.
Yeah.
The black guy's face is Denzel Washington.
That's right.
Yeah.
When he phoned up Sophia about Hubble.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was.
Phoned up the guy about Hubble.
And the guy hadn't. Yeah, and he hadn't seen the Hubble for 25 years. Hadn't set eyes on it. And yet he's there, supposedly supposed to be watching it.
Yeah.
And he comes out, he says at the end, did you speak songs? Can you believe that? I'm sure that I was thinking.
Jin, you're just breaking up a little bit. Jin, you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
Hello?
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you're back now. You just broke up a little bit there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry about that, folks.
Can I just ask a question then? Roxanne, what's the thing that's really annoying you the most about the lies right now? Is it because I find it a little bit frustrating that the world isn't waking up maybe a bit more, you know, like that big swathe of 2015-16, that's where nearly all of us come from. I know that Jin said things before, but what's the most frustrating thing about being a globalist denier?
Mainstream media and propaganda. My biggest enemy.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's like one step forward, 2 steps back. So I'll go to Speaker's Corner, and then the next day I wake up, I'm getting the kids ready for school. I'll put the British Brainwashing Corporation on in the morning, and they show me CGI Mars landings, and I'm like, oh, really? Really? I've just done 10 hours in Speaker's Corner, and the next day you're giving people CGI of Mars, and they're buying it. And they're buying it. Really? So yeah, it's just mainstream media and propaganda. It's like our arch enemy. No sooner do we go out onto the streets with truth, and they back it up with like £500,000 worth of CGI in the background of a Mercedes advert. They'll just fling a globe in there just for the headset.
Everywhere.
The globe's everywhere. It's almost like I'm allergic to it. It's everywhere. It's like
it's in everything.
For someone who's got hay fever.
You know,
high global ratings every day.
I DJ, right? And the logos on some of these record labels and covers are programming in themselves.
It's everywhere. It's
everywhere. You've got astronauts. You've got.
Yeah.
You know what? If you could go back like 10 years ago, whatever it was, whether it was your football or that television or that program, that thing. The media got you. You were watching it. Oh my God, look at that news. Whatever it was, EastEnders. Now it means nothing.
Do you know what? That's the reason it's so important to have these human interactions and to go out onto the streets. And when you are having a conversation, don't make it a mundane one. Make it one that counts, because we're constantly counteracting the mainstream media and the propaganda that's going on. So the streets matter. The human interactions matter more so than they ever did before. Like, we're actually at war with the internet right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well said.
We are actually at war.
Well, yeah.
And like, the sooner we realise that, the sooner we need people to just brave it in the canteen at work and just throw that conversation out there, put the cat amongst the pigeons, and stop being quiet, stop keeping it under the table.
Yeah.
Right, and just say, right, that's it. Fuck it. I'm going to talk about it today. I'm going to say,
Absolutely.
what, are you buying into them moon landings? What, do you really reckon we're living on a ball, yeah? And then when they say, oh, you one of them flat earthers? No, I'm just a realist questioning what I've been taught. Stop calling me a flat earther in a condescending racial attribute type of way. Don't say it with that naff attitude. What do you mean, you flat earther? You flat earther? Why are you saying it like that? In such a discriminative way. Discriminative way. Like, why say it with that kind of racial connotation behind it? Like, where does the conversation go from there when someone says, you flat earther? Well, we're not going to have a civil conversation now, are we? Now that you've started it there. The longer we keep it under the table, the more people will be like that. Take it out from under the table and have the conversation in your local shop, in your doctors, in your workplace, in your school, playgrounds, bus stop, bank queue. Doesn't matter where you are. Don't have a mundane conversation. Just say, right, New Year's resolutions, mundane conversations are out the window now. Like, we've got no time for mundane conversations anymore about crap that doesn't matter. And it is rude to say so what. So instead of saying so what, say, listen, do you mind if we talk about something that's actually relevant? Like what? Like about a fact we've been lied to. About what? Where do you want me to start? How long have you got?
Thank you for that. Nicolas, what about you? What's the most frustrating global denier thing at the moment for you?
All of it. I don't know. I just had a back and forth with my family today, and it just drove me completely crazy. And then it's just ridiculous. It's always the same repeated, regurgitated. You've heard it all before, you know. It's just no thought, non-thinking people. The thing that annoys me, I guess, the most is lazy minds. They don't want to go that one little bit further just to think about it. They're always feigning you off with something, with another distraction, or they sort of laugh. You know.
Thanks for that, Nicolas. What about Patricia? Is Patricia still there? Patricia, you might get her to speak again.
Hey, Patricia.
Patricia.
Hello.
Oh, she's.
My son's just trying to sleep. Karen.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you don't want to talk, Patricia?
No.
Oh, her son's gone to sleep next to her, so she can't talk.
No worries.
What about you, Flat Earth Dude? Are you there? Flat Earth Dude. Flat Earth calling. Flat Earth Dude.
I'm here.
What's the thing that's annoying you the most then?
You're annoying me right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Really?
Wow.
Well, I was busy. No, it's all good. Yeah, what's annoying me the most? Probably the fluoride right now. It's really ticking me off. Everybody's so asleep, especially like around Christmas. You go to the mall and you look around, you're like, these people have no clue, man. And you're like, damn.
Yeah.
Supermarkets.
The shops, they look blank.
Yeah,
they look blank.
I especially all the.
It's really funny being a vegetarian in a supermarket. I tell you, at the moment.
Yeah, but. Yeah, that's brutal. I do shop a lot of organic stuff. I've got some great supermarkets here. We've got.
Yeah, I'm lucky here too, man. Where I live.
And we got a lot of farmers markets around.
Yeah.
Fresh, organic. I definitely want to start doing some more juicy. So it's all good.
Juice it up, Kenny.
Lots of distilled water.
And don't forget what happens with the water, Kenny.
It don't bend. No bendy water.
Bendy water.
Dick Van Dyke version.
You guys are funny.
Oh, we love you, Kenny. Jim, what's the thing that's annoying you the most then?
Well, I think it's everything that everyone has said, plus these idiotic questions like, where's the edge? Or how thick is the earth then? Yeah? Or your pizza flying through space and silly things like that. That's what annoys me the most. Those silly questions. You know, you tell them the furthest we've dug is 8 miles. 8 miles is thick enough. How thick do you want the earth to be, by the way? Do you know what I mean? How thick is it? You know,
Yeah,
8 miles
well
thick.
said.
That's quite deep. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
So
It is ridiculous, isn't it? We've only been 8 miles down, and yet we've got this great big molten core, and we're a ball.
Well, that's just like what I said. That's what we're asking them to bring to court. We're asking for scientific evidence of self-perpetuating molten iron core. I'd like to see them produce that evidence. I really would.
But how could that be magnetic if it's liquid anyway?
You know what? The mind boggles.
That's right.
Nick.
That's
The
what
mind boggles. You know, it'd be interesting. A self-perpetuating molten iron core. Evidence, please. Scientific evidence. I'd like to see it.
Roxanne, we need the children to rebel.
Mine already are. I don't know about anyone else's. Mine already are. Mine
Good
are.
morning, Sakim. Where are you off to? Okay, have a nice time, yeah? See you later. Sorry, that was my son who's going to school.
Aw.
Yeah, it's tomorrow morning it's tomorrow. What time is it for you, Jin?
It's 8:30 in the morning here.
Oh, wow.
Friday morning, yeah.
And it's
So my son's just off.
what is it? 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
11:30 here.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Your time.
International hangout.
So when you called me on the hangout, I was still in the laundrette. 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I don't think Jim goes to sleep much. He's one of these people. But in a sense, though, because like you say, Roxanne, you almost need another 6 hours in a day. We hardly sleep. We get about 4 or 5 hours sleep if we're lucky.
Correct.
Yeah, I know. You guys are wild, man.
Wild.
Favorite women, by the way, you and me on YouTube.
Who? What?
Yeah.
Jin, we're favorite women on YouTube.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Jin. Thank you, Jin. Awesome.
Thanks.
Cheers. A massive shout out to the chat room as well. And massive shout out to you for this hangout, Karen.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I said massive thank you to you for this amazing hangout tonight. This has been great.
Yeah, it has.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite, Karen.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Can I ask one thing though, on a good note? What's the thing, Roxanne, you like the most that's happening lately?
You say what? To me?
Yeah, in Flat Earth, being a globalist denier.
What's the thing I like most?
Yeah, what's happening? Any good things? Anything you like?
I do like the fact that I'm hearing a lot more people advocating for, can we just like try and work together? That's my favourite thing that's going on about now. And it's there with those with eyes to see and ears to hear. It's there. And, you know, it's publicly being spoken about. Like, how about we just down arms and anybody who is squabbling, can we not just find a way to make peace, to just move forward, please? Because the only way is with, you know, this is going to work is if we work together.
Yeah.
No-brainer.
Well said. Well said. That's it.
Yep. Yep. Totally. So yeah, that's probably my favourite thing that's going on. No, right back at you, darling.
Thank you for that. Anyway, you're beginning to look a bit like a teacher with your picture there with the glasses on in front of
So you know what those are. Those are I'm clever and I know what I'm talking about glasses. They're my lab coat. I don't use a lab coat. I just fling the glasses on and it seems to work a treat.
Okay, to Nicolas then, what's the thing you like the most happening now?
I think it's this. Even if a lot of people haven't met a lot of other people, like physically in the flesh, there is definitely an amazing connection going on through things like this. People connecting with other people, spreading their truths and connecting. It's an amazing thing watching, and it's an amazing feeling. It's very subtle sometimes, but we all know what I'm talking about.
Excuse me, Jarrett, naughty. He says she could be my teacher. Anyway, we'll move on to that one.
People are funny.
Thank you there, Jarrett. What about you, Flat Earth Dude? What's the thing you like the most? Is he there? Flat Earth Dude. No Benny water. Oh, he's gone again. He's probably working or driving. But anyway, Jin, what about you then? What's the thing you like the most? Being on our hangout.
Yeah, of course. That's the number one. Being on the best.
Yeah, otherwise we'll have a word with you afterwards.
And then, I agree with Nicolas, you know, this coming together. Everybody's got something in common. We're moving towards a positive direction. I'm enjoying all the uploads and information that's coming on the internet. I'm enjoying watching what people are doing on the streets. I'm doing my little bit as well. And like Roxanne said, we've all got to work together. That's the beauty of it all, is that we are truly living in interesting times now. This is our time.
Yeah.
And I could see it in Roxanne says her children is her motivation. And you can see it. The way she's out there in the cold, and then she's back at home doing the updates, and then you've got Harry and the gang. I tell you, that for me was Flat Earth. This is real reality TV. This is, you don't watch BBC, you watch the Flat Earth moving. This is it. That's what it is for me. You know? It's just intoxicating.
I'll drink to that. I'll take my tea to that. Cheers.
We're left with, I mean, at least we're, you know, certain people or certain amount of people are now trying to communicate. The chat room is sort of the same. They're in there listening. People will watch this hangout, so they're listening to the communication. So that bit's really good. But that's where we're left right now. If not one person, like higher up or in the government, can say there's something really wrong with NASA, we need to investigate this. It's just walking past. I mean, they got rid of 9/11 the same way. Walk past. But this is where we are, though, isn't it? It's communicating. Not much else we can do at the moment.
And I think, can I just say something quickly? I think that a lot of the problem with a lot of the sort of so-called truthers and the flat earth community is that, okay, some people don't like being part of a group. Some people don't like to be like, you know, that kind of thing. They want to be more independent and sharing their truth as maybe as an independent person. But it's no reason for all these people to sort of gang up on each other just because one or the other has different ways of approaching it. Do you know?
Yeah, well, there's people that just really like, they love putting videos out about someone else, and I think that's
it's
great.
so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary, you know.
I hear that.
Everyone's got their own way, you know. Some people like to be with other people and you know, share truth. Some people like to do it more quietly or individually, or
that's right. I mean, has everybody watched Zoom Truth? Anyone watched Zoom Truth?
Oh yeah.
At all?
Yeah. Yep. I have. Yep.
Yeah, no, I like his way. I like the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's not everyone's cup of tea, but you know, his heart is in the right place. He's like Karen. He wants everything to hurry up. Why is it taking so long? Why aren't people getting on board? That's Zoom Truth.
And you know what? It's an absolutely good point. Why is everything taking so long? We've had people making public pieces of content now for years, and we've not evoked any change or reform with regards to the biggest lie told. The globe lie,
we're at the flat earthers. It's all like
I must say though. I must say though, if I could just interject there, before I actually opened this YouTube account, I was watching, and I felt that Britain was losing the battle with the Globers, right? And I thought, well, I've got to say something. This is we're losing, I thought. But on the whole, at the end of the tour, Britain is in the lead with making an impact on its people. America's getting there, but England has made an impact. You guys went across the country, north, south, east, west. And you're saying you're going to do it next year. You're coming back next year.
Oh yeah, bigger and better, and it's going to be longer. Robin's already had people contacting him to do their part for the tour. So if you haven't already subscribed to Lifting the Lid, hit the notification bell and stay tuned for the updates regarding that. Jason plugged it the other day. So if you want to, Jason of the Disbury family. I'll put the link in the chat as well. I'm just not sure whether Jason's going to go through Robin's channel to talk about it or go on Jason's channel. So we'd be better off, yeah, Jason. I've thrown you.
Jason,
love you, Jason. Big hug, Jason.
Robin's in the chat.
Yeah, anything you can say, Robin, to elaborate on that would be awesome, Robin. So if you could elaborate on anything I've just said, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Robin. And Britain is now the British Flat Earth Brigade has now motivated America to try and do something now, which is good.
They've got the Flat Earth tour going next year. Go over to flatearth101.com. I'll put the link in the chat. The Flat Earth tour is getting up and running. David Gessner's got the hookup for that. So if you're interested in getting involved in the American tour, get in touch with David Gessner at flatearth101.com. He has got the plug for all of the information to do with that tour.
Can I just say though, if someone decided to set off in America though and say that they were going on an American tour, they'd never come back.
Oh yeah, apparently it's over 50 locations. Word on the street is David Gessner's got over 50 locations plugged already, you know. Don't mess about. David Gessner, he's on it.
I'm just doing 1,000 miles this week. But I mean, America, they'd never come back. They'd be always somewhere else to go.
You never know. It might just be a continuous tour.
Yeah, I'm just going to Canada now. I'm just doing Canada. I'll see you in another 10 years.
Half a lifetime later.
The GoFundMe on that.
Crikey.
You know, basically, like each state in America is like the size of a country. Well, most of them are, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And
also we're led to believe.
Just put on Facebook for the Flat Earth Conference in Amsterdam next year. That's
right.
On the 13th, I think 13th, 14th, and 15th of September.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm going. I'm there. I'm going. I'm buying my Euro ticket tomorrow. Hello. Hey.
So in a sense, though, Masses has happened, hasn't it? Masses is, I mean, you know, you're talking about going to Amsterdam. We've had the one in Birmingham. There's been other conferences. Look, we're talking. Look what you're doing with education. You know, Flat Earth 2 goes out in Hollywood and Flat Smacks. You know, all Martin Kenny. You know, there's just massive. Martin Leakey. Good old Martin Leakey. I love what he does. There is a lot happening, really.
Well, there's also a UK conference that Lifting the Lid's dealing with. So, as I said, tune in to Lifting the Lid as well. Hit the notification bell because he's going to drop the plug for the UK one. Sorry, I gave the dates for the UK one. Good job. 13th to the 15th of September. Great job. Great.
That's right, September.
Don't call me for nothing, do they?
You have to come and talk about it on the moon, Robin.
Yeah.
He's in the chat room.
End of September for Amsterdam and start of September for the UK. My bad. Scrap what I said before.
Can I just say something quickly? Patricia wants to say, because obviously I'm not sure if she's going to sleep or whatever, but she just wanted to say that she loves everybody.
Love you, Patricia. Love you.
Yeah, we love you too. You stay with us. Stay with us.
Sending you virtual hugs, virtual cuddles.
Yes, sending you hugs. Yeah.
Yeah, Jin, I don't know how much longer Roxanne wants to stay on and stuff because it's like midnight here.
Yes, I'm holding my eyes open with matchsticks right about now, guys.
I just wondered, is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
I do, yeah. The Truth Talks on the 27th of December. And the last event of 2018, Speakers Corner, the 30th of December from midday onwards. Come one, come all if you know you're not on a ball. And come and meet other people, come and speak to other people. Everyone's going for a bit of a drink up after, so it's going to be a little bit of a celebration. Loads of people coming, and it's going to be an event. And on the 27th of December at the Vanbrugh, the details are on the community section of my page. That's at the Vanbrugh pub with Dave Mannell, Cosmic Cat. They've got special guests coming. It's going to be an awesome event. There's going to be loads of people going to that as well. And yeah, stay tuned to Nathan's channel for the updates on what's going on with the education battle. Stay tuned to Robin's channel to see updates on what's going on with the event and the Globalist tour with Jason and the Disbury. And on that note, that's where I'm at with that. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, Roxanne.
Lovely job.
Yeah, and Jin, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thanks to the US, because it was the US's videos that I watched that got me to be aware of the flat Earth, right? So no disrespect there. I thank you very much for the videos that I watched that came from the US. And then, as I said before, thanks to Roxanne, Harry, and all you guys, you know, welcoming me on the channel, and let's win this battle. Let's win it. It's winnable. The truth is on our side. Come on now. You know, it's going to be a slow and steady race, and that's good enough. But we're in the right place.
Well said.
Let's keep it going.
Well said.
Believe you me, if I was in the UK, you would see me at Speaker's Corner. No doubt about it.
Nice.
No doubt. I feel I'm missing my calling,
to
so I have to make up for it.
To absolutely anybody that can make a pilgrimage to Speaker's Corner. There is already people confirmed coming from as far north as Manchester on the 30th.
Yeah.
So no matter where you are in the country, if you feel you want to come down to London on the 30th and make a proper day of it, we'll be there from midday onwards, and I promise you, you will not regret it. I promise you, it'll probably be the best decision you made in 2018 to go and experience some live and direct conversations with people at Speaker's Corner. It's one to go in the books anyway and tell the grandkids you did. You know, so if you haven't done it already and you've been thinking about it, let me tell you, it's going to be a day and a half. So come along to Speaker's Corner on the 30th of December, and if you're in the proximity, please do come to the Vanbrugh on the 27th of December to Truth Talk.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about tomorrow night, aren't we, Roxanne? As you said, we've got Trinity 4, Adria, Cosmic Cat, and Mark tomorrow, but we'll be talking about that tomorrow.
Yeah, so if you don't know anything about it, please tune in tomorrow and listen to everything that they've got to say, because I think if this can catch on and become a national, possibly international thing that people start doing, I think the more the better, you know?
Roxanne, did you want to pop on tomorrow then?
I'll tell you what I will do. I can promise you I'll be in the chat room. I'll promise you I'll be in the chat room.
Leave you out then.
Oh, you're a sweetie. Thank you, darling. No, I promise you I'll be in the chat room, and if I can, that'd be lovely. But I definitely can be in the chat room for sure.
Okay, well, you can let me know tomorrow if you want to pop on for 10 minutes or whatever.
Awesome.
Nicolas, do you want to say anything?
No. I think it's all been said, really. Yeah, it's good. It's been really lovely hanging out with all of you, you know, meeting people.
Likewise.
You know, it's really
nice.
Awesome.
Basically, we've got to buy almond milk from now on.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Nicolas? Where do you live? Where do you live, Nicolas?
Pardon?
Whereabouts are you in the UK? Whereabouts
I live
are
in Glastonbury.
Oh, Glastonbury. Oh, you're down the road from Karen then. Hey.
Yeah, a little bit down the road, but he's not
actually that far.
I know we're going to have to meet up in 2018. Costa and I want to do one. You know, we went to Silbury Hill. We want to go to other things. I mean, there's Cheddar Gorge, Wookey Hole. There's I mean, there's a few other places, and like not too far away. And of course, there's Coombe Hill, which I'd like everybody to see.
Glastonbury is really nice. It's a very particular place.
We're going to have to just meet up and do a few things like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. I've been to Glastonbury quite a few times, but I also used to go to a place called Shepton Mallet Baby Jams.
Okay,
you know that? Yeah, I used to make deliveries there. So yeah.
Small world.
Yeah. Excuse me a moment. Yes, and you as well. Anyway, I don't think Flat Earth Dude can say anything because I think he's working, and Patricia can't, but she's still there. The Flat Earth Dude's not putting his microphone on. Is there anything?
Karen, why don't you say something, Karen? You say something.
I have.
All right.
I talk every night in a way, don't I? And you know, my daughter's trying to get the dog out. Go on, Floss. Floss, go on.
I just really enjoy coming on because there's so much to talk about.
My daughter's in here just dragging the dog out because she wants the dog to go with her. There goes Floss. Anyway, if you do hear strange noises, it's not me snoring, it's the dog. She snores really badly.
Oh, wow.
I'm so glad she's in the kitchen at night.
How old is your dog? How old?
She's about 7. She's a miniature Jack Russell, but she's got the sort of personality of a Great Dane.
Oh yeah, my dog suffers from Shortman syndrome.
Yeah, she's got.
How old is your dog?
My dog turns 3 on the 17th of December.
Okay, so she's
Is
21.
it a poodle or a, what do you call it? What's the name? Poodle? Is it a poodle? Is your dog a poodle?
Bichon Frise.
Oh right.
What's
Okay.
your dog? Aaron?
Sorry.
Well, I've got
a
cats.
Bichon.
You've got a cat, Nicolas.
I got 3.
3 cats.
Yep.
Meow.
I love cats.
I am the cat man.
Yeah. Don't forget, Dave says that they're aliens and they're here to protect us. Don't forget.
But they are.
Yeah.
And as we wake up, there'll be less cats.
It's all a lie, I know, because my cats told me that there's no edge, otherwise they would have fallen off.
And,
the animals know. No, they laugh at us.
My cats know it's flat.
Yeah, the cats know it's flat, and no, we're not moving. But anyway, we're nearly at 3 hours now. It's nearly sort of midnight. Shall we end the hangout now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
My darling.
Thank you very much, Karen and everybody else.
Say goodbye. The panel says goodbye off air, but
And everybody
thank
on the panel.
you, Flat Earth Dude and Patricia. Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Roxanne. And thank you, chat.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we're back tomorrow. Anyway, mwah, to everybody, thank you so much. That was a really great hangout. Thank you.
Lovely. Cheers. Cheers, everyone.